So, for the listener, David will not be joining us tonight. He's very sick. So sick. But, with it. So you will be hearing Jarrett playing as Ghibli for the night.
Hi, Levi from the editing room here. Unfortunately, half of the microphones during this session decided to stop recording partway through. I've recovered as much as I could from the episode, but alas, some portions just couldn't be saved. Byron, Jerry, Matt, and Jude were able to come in and re-record some of their moments during the episode, though. The rest of the sections that were lost are going to be narrated by me. Thank you all for the patience and support that you've all shown for this podcast, and now, let's begin the episode.
Last time, the party dallied about for some time, making important decisions and plans for the near future and discussing the significance of the charred corpse found beneath the hermit thrush, as well as other various and startling discoveries regarding Gertrude's disappearance, the red-scarfed man, and possible involvements with First Lieutenant Larch. All eventually leading to the party attending a dinner and audience with Fort Trinity's High Commander. Arriving at the High Commander's manor, they are welcomed in and all turn in their weapons at the door, leaving them with 4 guards. Guided into the manor and down the right side hallway through large double doors, they find a magnificent banquet waiting for them. A beautiful spread of various delicacies, as well as a seasoned and jovial military man welcome them into the room. Conversation drifts from topic to topic, but eventually rests on some strong suspicions of one Ransom Larch, who joins the meal later in the evening. Through some careful divinations from Edovard and Lumen, as well as a miraculous detection of poison within the meal's entree from Cepheus, suspicions grows substantiated. Edovard, overcome with determination and a need for swift justice, summons a sword just before their prayer for the meal. A sword, unlike the one he was expecting, and charges forward atop the table. Larch, expecting some sort of confrontation at this point, jumps from his chair and prepares to do battle. Everybody go ahead as we resume here with Cepheus having just passed word of the poison in their bowls of broth to Edovard. And Edovard, even seemingly to his own surprise, summoning a sword from the table with a strangely angular design and dark, almost matte black appearance. Roll initiative.
Oh, very good. In a world where that number's good.
Okay, so remember, you're all sitting around a banquet table. You have none of your weapons. I'm sure you have your armor, you are wearing it. But you don't have weapons. Somebody hid a weapon on them.
I thought 2 of us.
But one of you gave it up.
I gave up my dagger.
So it was just Edovard.
Then I have an Edovard on my ankle.
Okay.
I have a dagger on my ankle.
Okay, we're just gonna go around here.
Do you forget that none of us have weapons?
Their families were not here.
We don't have weapons.
What?
We don't have weapons.
I know. Why did you all of a sudden like this is a good time to fight?
Not a single one of us has weapons.
That's what he's saying.
Dagger.
Did you forget? You alright?
Yeah. You might want to give that dagger.
You're like, this is a good fight.
Not to see
Everyone's unarmed.
Oh, he's right next to him.
I thought he was saying.
I have 2 arms.
Saying like, don't get to see because
And I'm wearing a nice suit. I literally don't even have my armor on.
Yeah, none of us have armor.
have any armor.
Don't wear armor.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't have armor, huh?
I do.
I get into my
I am.
PJs.
I am wearing armor.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mentioned that I was wearing a nice suit of armor, and then I had my
That's right.
sword.
Yeah.
I had my
but
sword
everybody else
scoured.
is not armored.
That's right.
Okay, so just keep that in mind.
I said that too.
Nice clothing.
That's right, because you guys went out of your way to go buy formal.
Ghibli's probably wearing his fighting attire, right?
What?
I believe
Oh, he's dueling
I
attire?
thought that he got.
Show.
I thought that he got.
I think
David wasn't
Ghibli got
here.
drip.
Oh.
So I don't think
Oh,
we
that's
decided
true.
for David.
But it's in honor of him. I bet he.
I mean, Titus is not wearing
I'll
any armor.
because David's not here.
at
I'll let
all.
you use Ghibli's armor because he has like showman kind of style armor and like a nobleman's attire. Also, because David's not here, it makes it a little less likely that his
David
character
wasn't
dies.
David wasn't.
So use his armor stats, but not his weapon.
So for the listener,
David's not here.
flesh, leather armor evaporates.
Gross. That's actually how Edovard summoned that sword. Out of Ghibli's flesh.
He just reaches his hand in and pulls out a sword.
Does he have a?
Yeah.
That would look
Does
dope.
he have a pouch?
A marsupial pouch?
Yeah.
No, Holy does.
Yeah.
Was that one too?
Too early in his
Well, every character plays has one.
Yes. Everybody that has my voice has.
That's been our bag of holding.
Yeah. That was our bag of holding the entire last
You guys go to
campaign.
like a flesh wizard that enchants Holik's stomach.
I'm the flesh wizard.
The shell of holding.
Yeah.
The shell of holding.
That's actually
go
pretty
like-
incredible.
Your head,
Into your shell, they reach down in.
your head disappears, and then you come out with it in your mouth.
Well, no, he could also just pull in an arm.
Yeah.
And then we can
You
just
want a
reach
scythe?
inside.
You want gold? You want-
All right, let's get back to this. Anybody 15 to 20?
19 for Ghibli.
15 to 20. 14.
Okay, I should kill you. You said Ghibli's 19?
Ghibli's a 19.
He's tied with the guards, so I'm gonna let the guards. I'm gonna let him go first.
Let the guards go.
So I'm gonna let the guards go first.
time to fight, Hades.
Of course, Ghibli's going first. The guy that's not here. All right. Anybody else that was 15, 20? No? 10, 15?
14.
13.
12. Anybody else? 10, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
6.
10?
7.
Oh, I'm losing everything.
Yeah, I listened to last one. I said, the wrong way. Fish.
5?
When are we supposed to say above 20?
It made me laugh so hard.
Way long ago. Are you above 20?
No.
Oh. 5? 0?
No.
-1, 4.
You're not between 0 and 5? Okay.
So, Byron wants to remember names. Trake is which one, and
Okay, so High Commander Trake. He is the guy that you only just met at this manor. He is the one who.
that's poisoned. That's all I want to know.
Correct. He is basically the governor of this city for, like, Mike asked me that earlier, and I think that's a nice description or an easy way to remember it because he is the High Commander. He's in a high commander military position, whatever. Since this is a fort city, he's the one in charge of the city. And then his first lieutenant is Ransom Larch, who is this high elf, who is, or seemingly looks like a high elf. He could be half elf. You're not quite certain. He's the one that was like training soldiers when you guys got here. You gave him the letter that was supposed to go to Trake, and Trake never got it. So, all right.
It was Trake's soup that was poisoned, yes?
It was
All of this.
so it's not soup. What did it? Well, this doesn't matter. But to correct you, the meal tonight was this like wonderful smoked hog that they were bringing out, and it was this huge feast. And it's like it's a traditional meal from Trake's like homeland. And it's this like you pull off pieces of meat from this thing and then you dip it in this
It was the
broth.
broth.
Yeah, it's a
That's
broth.
right.
And then so it's like really rich. That's the only reason I say it's not soup because it would probably be like really rich to drink it. But this, yeah, kind of, except it's a little thicker. But yeah, you can't acknowledge their existence. But the broth that was laid in front of or set in front of each of you, all of them were poisoned. And during that detect poison and disease, you also saw poison running through Trake, Cepheus. Yeah. And then that's when, while you guys were holding hands, you whispered to Edovard that he was poisoned. So, Edovard, as you stand on the table, reaching into it and pulling this sword out, for a brief moment, surprising even yourself, and looking straight at Ransom Larch, you start running, food and dishes clattering to the side of the table as you crush these various delicacies, leaping over this roasted pig and smashing a cake that's beside it. You just continue rushing down this banquet table. People are like backing up. Trake is, "Whoa, what's going?" And then Ransom Larch stands up, pushing his chair from underneath him, and he begins preparing this ball of energy in his left hand, and he draws a sword in his right, and he just grins, seemingly prepared for this. But as you're running, Ghibli, what do you want to do?
Ghibli will stay next to Trake for the time being. Ready to defend. Holding his action
To defend Drake?
Correct.
So, he's important to the city. Okay, nice.
I didn't want to go that low.
You alright?
Levi, cut that out. Cut that.
Yeah. Levi, can you cut that out?
I'm gonna leave that in now.
You're gonna leave that in?
Yeah.
Oh, just because we asked me
I
to cut it out?
could barely hear you. It's gonna sound so good. So Ghibli's gonna take one step closer to Trake and just defend him. Be ready.
Defending Trake.
Yeah,
Okay.
holding his action for any.
Do you want him to do that like custom combat action that we have where he can
Is that
spend
help
his
action?
Yeah, his like help. It's like the help action, but what he can do typically the help
Impose
action gives you advantage. We also let the help action impose disadvantage on the next attack. Would you like to do that?
I would.
Okay.
We'll do that.
So the next attack, he will try and deflect at least some portion of it. Yeah, he's jazz handsing in front of.
For the meantime, since he got first action. And
Yeah. So he sees stuff's going down. He just quickly, kind of knee-jerk reaction, steps over to Trake, kind of puts his hand in front of him. Doesn't have a sword, so he just kind of like holds ready to help Trake, who's already, you can see, like starting to kind of struggle to get up out of his chair quickly. He's an older man, and he's fairly sick, as you guys have been made aware. So he kind of like grunts as he starts to get up. All right, the guards, the two that are in there, each seeing this happen, kind of like draw their weapons. These two have spears. As they do, they take their spears, and with the butts of their spears, they hit the door behind them to alert the guards that are outside. And then they will step forward directly on either side of Ransom Lark. They just step straight forward. One of them now standing between Lark and you, Lumen. This is not the one that took you guys to the bathroom. I don't remember their names. I might have written them down somewhere. I did not. I don't remember their names, but the recording does. Those two are the ones that are outside the door. These two are the ones that when Lark showed up, he brought with him, that like walked into the door with him. So they step up between him and you, Lumen, and then the other one steps between him and Venora. They will just take their spears, hold them at the ready, kind of like facing outward and holding their hands out as if to kind of like, all right, everybody chill. Their spears, they're kind of like holding their hands out. Like the one on the left is holding his hand out to the people on the left, like telling them to stay calm while holding his spear in your direction. And then the guy on the right is holding his spear in your direction while holding his hand out to the people on the right, like, for Edovard, Ransom Lark.
Oh my goodness.
So he draws this long dueling blade. It's this nobleman's rapier. As he holds it towards you, this kind of energy coalescing around his hand, he will step back.
the guards take an opportunity to.
He doesn't leave their range anyway.
Spares.
He takes one step back as the chair just like clatters to the ground. He looks up at you, his eyes just kind of squinting. He's slightly smirking. You don't want to do this. Attacking me here and now will only be fun for me. As he readies his action, you see this energy kind of coalescing around his left hand. It's this kind of sickly green energy with like black tendrils swimming through it. Ending his turn, Edovard.
I'm so sick of this guy.
So you should kill him.
That's a good idea.
That was a joke.
I'm jumping up on that table and
You already did that.
You're already on.
that's right, I already did that.
You just jumped over a big old pig.
I'm gonna
I don't know how you jumped over Cepheus, but
raise my arm like I'm playing the theremin. I wave it around a bit, and my book flickers open and I cast Mage Armor.
okay. So you stop on the table, open up your book. These arcane runes like fly out into the air, and just as they do, they quickly all over his body, projecting these pieces of armor.
Can I grab the dagger at my ankle?
Okay. So holding your sword in your one hand,
Yeah.
you reach down, draw a dagger from your ankle. It was actually in your ankle,
Oh yeah.
so they didn't find it.
Psychological warfare.
Oh, this guy means business.
And then I throw it like
You throw the dagger.
action surge.
Okay, throw the dagger. Make an
Fake him
attack.
out. Throw it, and I'm gonna have my bird.
So this wonderful, like, these runes of magic fuse to different parts of your body, projecting these pieces of armor. You reach down and then just chuck this dagger.
No, it's underhand.
Okay, as you lift it and then throw it straight at Ransom Larch. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
I'm gonna have my bird. How tall is the room?
Oh, it's like 25 feet tall, like to the ceiling.
So my bird
it was this huge.
basically flies to the ceiling above.
It was this big, like this tall, like banquet hall that had these hanging chandeliers. These two in this room. Excuse me, 2 hanging chandeliers, kind of giving this off this like beautiful warm candlelight from these 10, 15 different candles on the chandeliers.
Oh, 2 10s.
I said it at 1.
16.
2 10s?
Yeah.
Why did you roll with advantage?
My bird.
But you said your bird flew up into the air?
Yeah, he goes over Lark.
I'm
flies
sorry.
up. Sorry.
My mistake.
Yeah.
I missed
He
that
wasn't
part.
gonna poop on him. He was gonna. He pokes at
So
him.
he like quickly like scratches at
Dashes
Lark's
his
face
cheek.
just as you throw the dagger, kind of drawing Lark's attention away for just a half a second. And just as Lark looks away, he looks back, this dagger straight for his face, and he just bends back, and the dagger clatters to the ground behind him after
This
he
is
gets
terrible news.
It was very close.
So when I summoned the sword, was that like my bonus action, or was that before combat or in combat?
We counted that as before combat.
Okay. Then whoa! Kind of look at my sword, and then I reach down the table and I grab an axe out of it. Traditional, just like I always have used.
You reach down
my throwing
into the
axes.
wood of the table that
Yeah.
like splits open, and beneath
The wood
it,
like becomes a knot on a tree.
and as it like splits open like that for you to grab the axe, you guys smell like earth and dirt wafting out of it. Pulls this axe out of the table and it shifts back to how it looked before.
And I take a few steps back.
And walk back, stepping
He's
over
got
this
those-
pig.
those
Okay,
dumb-
the table is rough terrain.
Count Dooku swordsman. What? Okay.
What does the axe look like?
It's just my normal
axe
axe.
is
It's
normal
just
axe,
kind of
it's
a
hatchet.
throwing axe. Yeah.
You want to
But
remind people what your sword looks like?
sure. So my sword that I summoned. End of last episode, beginning of this one. It's a long sword, but it's even a few inches longer than that, so it looks a little top heavy. But it's just a very straight, heavy blade, and then pointed hilts, and a little gemstone in the pommel. And then it's
So the
it's just like
crossguard is what you're
matte.
talking about, right?
Yeah, the crossguard's like
Very angular
brass.
and
It's just this matte black over top of it.
But it's nice and clean versus your other ones that you've used.
The
It's
other
a
one
lot
was
better.
covered in
Yeah,
rust.
there's no rust or anything. It's just covered in this like black.
But there's a strange like matte black to
Yeah.
it. That,
The light kind of,
yeah, as if it's absorbing light around it.
just kind of.
Okay.
What's going on?
You take a step back, ending Edovard's turn. Cepheus, go ahead. What are you doing? As you were about to start praying,
I'm gonna say you're poisoned, and then I'm going to
to trade.
yep,
Then I'm gonna poison.
and then I'm gonna take the pain.
Okay. Which is an action, right?
Bonus action.
Okay.
That's right.
So he has to be willing.
Willing creature, yeah.
Okay. Just make a charisma check. As your hand begins to glow with this like divine warmth, it kind of startles him for a second as he looks down, seeing your hand glow with this radiant glory.
11.
11. Okay.
Can it be persuasion?
Sure, that's fine. What was it with your persuasion?
14. Yeah.
Okay. It startles him as you start this quick ritual, You see this divine light course down into your hand. It's glowing. As you look at Trake, you see these veins kind of pop up out from underneath his arm, this like black energy underneath it. It startles him and he kind of rears back, not knowing what's going on. And then his face kind of softens as this glow shoots up through his arm, and you watch it flash across those black veins, and it just burns away whatever was there. And then, if I'm correct, you cannot be poisoned, right?
No, I cannot be diseased.
Diseased,
I
but
can
you
be
can be
poisoned.
poisoned? Okay.
We can be.
You do see, actually, as those veins crawling down his arm, as part of that, they kind of reach into your hand and start crawling up your arm, and then what was left in his burns away. Little bits of it, you can see like flakes of black kind of like falling off as it enters your skin, as though it's like something about you is deterring it. but you do feel your body kind of grow lethargic, and you feel sicker. You certainly don't feel good. You do have the poisoned condition, which I think I have a thing for.
You hunger for human brains.
He's a zombie.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, yeah. It's a bummer thing to have at the start of a fight. You've got your action left.
Yep.
And movement.
I'm going to. Where's the nearest guard?
Across the table from you. So if you look, that's you in the corner, right next to Trake's left. Directly opposite of you, there's a guard. And then just over from that guy, there's another guard.
So I am going to run towards the guard closest to Lumen.
Okay. He can get here. If he just
he ran
shoves
through.
past
Okay.
Holik, who's sitting. So Holik, as Cepheus just runs through, he throws Edovard's seat to the side. He pushes you to the side, which like gets you standing up out of your chair. Lumen, you float up. I mean, actually, you probably weren't even sitting anyway, I'm sure. But we'll just say you like flutter up, so Cepheus runs underneath you, and Cepheus, you're now standing beside Lumen and that guard.
I do want to try to disarm him.
Okay. So I'll have that be a contested grapple check. You're going to try and take his weapon? Okay. So make an athletics check. He can make an opposed athletics or
In the
acrobatics.
sense, am I disadvantaged then?
Yeah, it's an ability check. Ooh, I rolled really well.
25.
Whoa! With disadvantage?
17 and then 20.
Wow. Well, I rolled similar. 19.
Okay.
But not enough. Okay, so you reach forward, grabbing his spear. He looks at you. We're all gonna calm down for a second. And just as you like yank the spear out of his hands, now holding nothing.
I like this spear. I think I'll use it.
I'd rather you not. We're just gonna calm down here.
Without a weapon.
Yeah.
I'd rather you don't use it.
Who poisoned him, huh? Who poisoned him?
Holik.
Would taking the poison condition at the start of a fight to play his character be inspiration?
Sure, yeah. You can have a D4 of inspiration. Whoa, was that?
That was inspiration.
Looked like you were.
So for the listener at home, he just hugged himself.
It looks as though
While making that noise.
he pantomimed a fairy hugging him. Oh! Was it a one?
It was a one.
Watch me roll a 4.
Boom, it will.
Levi?
Okay, I am going to go next to Cepheus.
Right there?
Yeah,
Okay,
next to him.
so you rush, similarly pushing past Cepheus now.
And I'm gonna try and grapple him.
Grapple the guard?
The guard.
Okay. Oh, I rolled the same thing.
Dang.
19.
Yeah, not 15.
Okay, so you now grabbing at his arms, trying to like pin him there. He pushes you off. This is exactly how people find themselves arrested. All of you need to calm down.
I am going to use my bonus action to tell Vith to go next to Ransom
Okay.
and prepare to Indraconic, to hold its attack action to attack Ransom if he casts any spells or attacks one of our
Okay.
people
Will you put Vith?
in between me and Ransom.
Okay. So rushing underneath your legs and now just rearing these huge fangs towards Ransom. As you command that, you see Ransom look at you and then give a knowing look at the Drake.
Cool.
Okay, ending Holik's turn. Venora?
I get out of my chair and then, yes, I think we should all calm down. I look at Edovard. We're not going to learn anything if we're arrested. And I slip the corsage to Clonus.
The whole corsage?
Yeah.
Or just one of the daggers?
Just the whole corsage.
Okay,
I just slip it off and hand it to him. And
okay. So
You look good in it.
she puts it on you.
as a clown.
I was like, that's on my wrist.
Okay. Okay, and you rush up next to Ghibli?
Okay.
All right. Titus, and then Clonus.
If I don't become the next airite, I am going to.
Keep in mind, you have to awkwardly share that.
So I'm going to bonus action giant, or I'll do so thematically. So I'm going to try and get next to Lark,
Okay.
And
lay
then
in front of the-
when I'm next to Lark, I will go big.
Big.
Do you like belly bump him? Just like.
It actually doesn't shove
Drag
like
us
that.
across.
Could be
Is
real
it too
careful
late
with
to use my
this.
action to dash?
What are you doing, Venor? Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to get into this kitchen.
Okay. You rush through that door into the kitchen, Venora. You see immediately standing behind this like primary prep table in the center of the room, this like tall, well actually fairly squat man with just this very rotund belly that kind of like is sitting on the table like a shelf almost. Bits of his stomach are peeking out under this clearly too small vest that looks like some sort of a chef's apron. This kind of nappy chef's hat. He looks up at you, this pencil stash. What is going on out there? Next to him, this fairly tall, lanky woman. She's fairly pretty, but she's covered in like flour and stuff. It seems like the cook's in the kitchen.
Okay, is there any doors?
So on the far side of the kitchen, there is a single door.
Perfect.
Like maybe a service door or whatever.
Have I used all my talkings? I probably.
For the most part, yeah, I think so.
Then I will just.
Do you go into that room or just stop there and like open the door?
There's only two of them. Then yes.
Okay. They're like, this guy looks at, what is going on? All right. So, sorry, Titus, continue your turn.
I would like to grapple Lark.
Okay. Make an athletics check. He will make an opposed acrobatics. Oh, pretty good.
21.
21 as well. So, let's just roll it.
12.
16. Gosh, so you, these huge arms just go and you start to squeeze Lark, and he just, oh my goodness, just slides out from underneath you and then stands in front of you. Now, whirling around, this energy coalescing around his hand, looking up at you, he will use his ready to action, and he will double check his spells.
He's opening a book and flipping through very fast.
Shoot.
He uses the spell read. He uses the spell read to find the spell he's
They
in.
make great soup.
Wrong book. Why am I reading? How do I have Edovard's
How to poison soup?
How to
No, it's
how
like
to poison soup?
chicken noodle soup, turtle soup, poison soup. Wait, turtle soup.
I'm gonna have
How barbaric. He, looking at you, this energy, he just slams it down into the ground. You all hear this loud thunderclap in the room. I need his soldier, Lumen, Cepheus, Vith, and Holik, all to make Constitution saving throws, I believe.
Wow.
Okay, so for the Drake,
22.
okay, for you,
18.
okay. His soldier also succeeds. Matt, Constitution saving throw.
Oh, my bad.
Lumen,
14.
14. Okay. You take 10 thunder damage. You like crash into this servant, pushing them into this square behind you. This older halfling man with this long beard that was standing there ready to like serve more of the meal is like frantically not knowing what to do as this Goliath is like scooted back quickly across the floor, and you just crash into him and he flies backwards.
How much damage was that?
10 thunder damage to the two of you. Vith, Holik, you two take 5 thunder damage. The chairs in that area are thrown away. All the food on that corner of the table just splatters across the back wall, and plates and cutlery go flying around the room. It didn't work as well as he thought. All right.
And can Vith make his reaction attack?
Sure.
Ooh. 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
5 damage.
Okay.
Very good.
Hey, can I stone endurance that as my reaction, by the way?
Yeah, go for it.
Didn't even,
And I absorbed all of it,
Nice.
and it felt good.
All right.
That was Titus.
Is that your end of your turn?
No. I'm gonna action surge and try and grapple him again.
Great. Okay.
Cool. Almost as good as it gets. 25.
25, you grab him. So you grab a hold of him. Now, as he spun around quickly through the spell on the ground, and you hear all this clattering. You take a moment of opportunity to try and grab hold of him again, just as his hands are down, like pushing this energy into the ground, and you do push his arms against his body.
Inside the head of Titus, he let the other guy get away because he did an action surge because he ran out the window.
Yep.
Not going to let it happen again. Seize the opportunity. That will end my turn.
Okay. Clonus and then Trake.
My lord, do you not see that he is attacking us now?
You're talking to Trake?
Yeah. And then, once accused, he defended himself. And I'm gonna try to, like, basically, I'm just trying to diffuse, but also persuade, saying, hey, we did accuse, and then he just instantaneously started to attack.
No, I'm just so that we have what actually happened. Edovard jumped on the table, summoned his weapon, and started running for him. And so he stood up, scooted back, pulled out his weapon, and prepared a spell.
And you said as if he was already prepared for interaction.
No.
You said that, and it's recorded.
He said, like, already prepared.
You can try and get me, Byron, but I'll read to you exactly what I said because it was written. Larch, at this point, now expecting confrontation, jumps from his chair and prepares to do battle.
Yeah. Okay. Expecting.
See,
He's pregnant.
Yes, he was expecting confrontation. But because the context is Edovard, overcome with determination and a need for swift justice, summons a sword unlike the one he was expecting and charges forward atop the table. Larch, expecting some confrontation at this point, jumps from his chair.
No, not the recap. You're talking about last episode.
I was talking about today.
I was talking about
but not in the recap. He said this. He backed out. When we were doing actions. Before the recap, after the recap.
23 minutes earlier.
Ransom Lark stands up, pushing his chair from underneath him, and he begins preparing this ball of energy in his left hand, and he draws a sword in his right, and he just grins, seemingly prepared for this. So
then I misinterpreted.
The thing you started with totally makes sense to say to Trake. I'm just saying, like, Trake saw the order of operations. If you tell Trake, like, he attacked us.
No, I wasn't trying to. I'm not trying to say that he attacked us.
So do you want to go with that? Like, you're telling him, hey, it does seem as though he was ready to fight. We accused him.
Would an accused man attack back like this?
Okay. Roll a persuasion check. Because it did seem last time as though Trake was kind of skeptical. He was like, okay, I don't like this guy, but he's like, he wouldn't betray me like this. And I'll give you advantage because he just saw a poison purge from his body after Cepheus told him you were poisoned. By Lark.
And he didn't have disadvantage on that roll that he just did.
Who?
Trake. This is his first roll, non-disadvantage.
Oh, yes.
For like months.
She should feel better.
He's thinking, he said, I just rolled without disadvantage.
Only one dude.
11.
Okay. I only heard one of this sound in the air. Okay. 11?
Yeah.
He looks up at you. And he's now kind of like almost fully stood up out of his chair, using all this strength to stand up as he could. Looks at you, kind of like looks back at the battlefield, or what battlefield there is. Still a little bit... He's not pensive. His face is kind of scrunched up now, as he's just like upset with the circumstances, it seems. You're unsure if what you said was enough for him to maybe do something, but you're unsure of whether or not you've convinced him.
And then I'm going to run up to the guard and do try to do a disarm.
You're going to run up to the guard closest to you?
Yeah. 16.
16? Just beats it. You grab at the spear, and he, knowing what you're doing, as you like start to reach forward, having seen this happen with Cepheus and the other guard, believe me, you're going to regret turning against a man of the law as you pull his spear out of his hands.
I mean you no harm. I mustn't take this from you, though.
His buddy attacked you, taking his spear.
I wasn't attacking him.
That's
I
true.
meant him
You're just
no
taking
harm.
his weapon. It's like going up to a cop, yanking his gun out of his hand when he's telling you to be calm and going, hey, I'm not going to shoot you.
I'm going to set him on fire.
I'm just going to shoot your boss.
I just want to shoot your partner.
The man you serve is not the man you think
I don't want to
You know
shoot
that
the
meme
deputy.
that's really popular right now about, like, I saw one of my local law enforcement and whipped out my ID for him real quick? That's like what you're doing. All right. End of your turn?
Yeah.
I mean, you know harm.
Drake and then Lumen. I mean you no harm. That's me. I was like waiting for one of you to speak up. Okay. Trake, looking at Clonus, kind of like, this isn't right. As Clonus turns, yanks one of the guard's spears out of his hand.
Actually, can I, real quick before I finish my turn, can I take that spear and throw it to the ground behind me?
Sure.
Not towards the
You want to
servant.
skewer that servant?
No, not towards the servant. Not towards the servant.
You're like throwing
I
it
wanted-
along the ground.
I wanted to hit it on the ground, probably towards the corner, so that no one has the spear.
Okay.
To show non-aggression,
just
say,
put a mark.
We need to remove this from combat.
This spear goes clattering to the corner of the room.
A javelin throw it into the wall.
Wonder Woman appears.
Using this also as communication to
Yeah, I got
Drake.
it. It wasn't that veiled.
I meant for it not to be veiled at all.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't veiled. I got it.
One of the good
This was a sign to show you that.
When I pull out the daggers later.
Yeah.
That'll be a little more surreptitious. All right. Trake, fully standing up out of his seat, he
Notices Ghibli protecting him.
he reaches under the table. You guys hear a clicking sound as he pulls out from underneath the table this huge, heavy crossbow. You watch as he goes, this loud clicking noise, as the front of it, with this like heavy piece of metal, he rears it back, and you see with all his strength, putting tension to this huge crossbow, this thick bolt, like the size of a small piece of rebar, basically.
He puts in.
He puts it through Ghibli's skull.
Just executes Ghibli right there. I was with him the whole time.
He wouldn't do that. He'd have disadvantage on the attack. Ghibli's within 5 feet. So, you watch as he holds it up. He's aiming it directly for you, Edovard, because you're in that direction.
Everybody stop! This is ridiculous. You've made your accusations against my first lieutenant, and some of it certainly stands. But this is juvenile. Put down your weapons that you shouldn't have in my hall. Whether you're right or wrong, you've broken laws. And you will face my accusations now.
Are you raising your hand? On his turn?
I don't have the dagger or the I don't have the spear anymore. So
Yeah, you made it very clear. I saw it, dude.
That doesn't happen. So, holding this huge crossbow, and he's quite literally holding it like that. So, on one side of it, there is this large metal like handle, and along the top, he braces it against his waist, and he pulls the thing back, and he's ready with it now. Holding it up higher, but no, it's not like a Gatling gun. He's holding it up higher, but it's heavy enough that it requires this metal handle along the left side, and then he's now holding where the trigger is on the back. It's this hefty thing. And you don't see it because you're facing the other direction.
Yeah,
but you hear the recognizable click of a crossbow, but it is this like loud stretching.
That's bad.
And then this loud click.
Like half a ballista.
You're just like, uh-oh. Yeah. It's right behind you.
That's an anti-aircraft.
So he says that. No. He says that, holding his action. He will actually move. Steps to the left of the table, 10 feet. And now, Edovard, just over your shoulder, you see him holding this massive crossbow. Ooh. Okay. Lumen, it's your turn.
I'll look towards Drake and tell him, Drake, I can solve all this.
Okay.
I have one spell to solve it all. But we all need to sit down. Sit down at the table.
Make a persuasion check.
I have zone of truth. No one can lie.
Are you trying to kind of persuade everybody in the room?
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty good, man. So I'm gonna...
He's got plant residue still around his mouth.
Yeah. Well, like some leaves, like pieces of leaves kind of spew out of his mouth as he's saying it.
I got a 22.
Okay, with a nat 20, huh?
Yeah.
Very good.
Dang, son.
Okay. Trake is persuaded. Trake looks at you.
Suitable. Lark. Under my command, sit down.
I'll flutter down.
Okay.
And sit too, because.
Okay. Like sit right where you are, or are you going to sit at the table?
No, sit right where I'm at, because you're saying sit.
Just crisscross applesauce?
Yes.
You...
Just zen.
Okay. Very
With
good.
my hands up.
So Trake, holding out his hand for a second, like this quick motion telling Lark to sit down so that they can solve this issue. Lark looks up at him,
Lark's still grappled.
kind of nods. What are you doing with the rest of your turn? You've used your action for that, I'm going to say. Actually, no, I didn't make the persuasion checks for other people. Just this round, I'm not going to do that, since I accidentally did that with Matt, so.
I'll just cast Zone of Truth right where I'm at.
Oh, you're going to cast it? Yeah, so where are you centering it?
Where are those people?
I'll just put it right on the table in front of him. Like I'm
How
not.
large was it?
It's not like.
But tell me who you want in it, we can try and figure out a way to make it work. Do you want Lark in it right now?
Well, since it's that big, yeah, I'll just put it Lark in there.
Okay. So like kind of in the center, focus on the center of the table so that it reaches out towards the doors, and then as far as it will go in that direction. So we'll say Clonus, both of the guards, and Lark are in it for sure. So those of you who are, unless you want to just allow yourself to just be subject to the spell, have to make a saving throw.
And he knows when somebody fails, right?
Yes.
Do you know if they exist?
On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie when in the radius. You can know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw.
So just the guards, Clonus, and Ransom Lark.
Ransom Loki.
So the guards, 4. What's your spell save
Oh, my
DC?
spell save? 14.
14? Okay. So the guard on this side fails.
The left of
This
Lark.
one succeeds.
The right of Lark.
Lark. It's a close one.
But he failed. Right?
With his modifier alone, he just succeeds. Unfortunately.
We know.
But you know that. Clonus, are you trying to resist it?
I'll let it take me.
Okay. So you know that Clonus can't tell a lie.
So if you succeed, like he did, he can talk. He can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, but we know that he failed.
But you know that he failed.
But Lumen knows that he
But if
succeeded.
But
not
if you
failed.
Yeah.
if you fail,
And it-
thusly you cannot tell a lie.
yeah, but you're aware that
But you can. But I can speak and say whatever I want as long as it's not a lie.
Yep. Or you can just choose to say nothing, and you know that you're under the
Under
guise
the-
of. It says an affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
But can you just recast it and then see if they fail?
You don't have to
Spend
recast
another
it,
second
they
level
just have
spell slot.
to
Don't they
move
just
back in and
re-roll
out.
when they start their turn on it?
Can they just move back in and out? Does that count for?
Because every time they enter, or the start of their turn. I can't
Yeah, it says a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay.
remember.
So every turn
has
he
to-
has to make a save unless he gets out of it.
So basically every question.
How long does?
Well,
10 minutes duration.
that's true. That's interesting. I never realized that. People use Zone of Truth out of combat a lot. You have to just keep making saves because it doesn't say that you're under its effects on a failed save.
Because I think the idea is that you choose to fail.
On a failed
Thing
save,
is-
a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. So once you fail, you're failed.
Yeah.
But it does mean that if he stays in there until the next turn, he'll have to make another one unless he gets out of it. All right, is that your turn?
Yeah.
You seem to have convinced Trake.
I'll just nod towards him and towards.
Ending Lumen's turn. Top of the round, Ghibli.
Ghibli will not fight and just do what Trake says.
Okay.
So Trake told everyone
To sit down.
so Ghibli will go back to his chair.
Okay.
Hold his action to sit when other people sit.
He's like grabbing the sides of the arms of the chair, like butt starting to sit in the chair, but like kind of stands up a little bit, down, up. Not sure. All right, the guards. The guard who failed, the one on the left of Trake, of Lark, will. Okay. He will stand there, just kind of eyeing Clonus, and then eyeing the other direction where Cepheus had taken the spear, just kind of looking to make sure that nothing happens.
My feelings are hurt.
But he'll stand there. And then the one who succeeded will back up out of the radius, eyeing you, Cepheus, because you took his spear. Lark, standing there, grappled by Titus. I'm fine. Let go of me, so that I may sit.
Does he have to reroll at the start of his turn?
I thought it was on every turn of.
At the start of a turn when he starts his turn there, so it,
Oh, it starts his turn, so he needs to reroll before.
I want to roll insight on him.
Okay. Now the proficiency does matter.
No, the proficiency does matter.
He fails.
So he asked me that, are we considering it out of combat then? And I can just say I let him go?
It is not out of initiative order. But he says, let go of me so that I may sit
Can I roll? Insight?
on your turn. Oh, it's your turn.
Will that take my action? Wait, to roll insight takes
No,
action?
go ahead and roll.
Ooh.
Actually, it would just be your passive insight, because actually that would technically take your action to make a skill check.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Passive insight.
Okay.
Wow. So insightful.
You saw like these kind of fluttering moths like land on his head before he spoke, and his eyes kind of glint this strange magical color. You don't seem to think he's lying.
Can I use my action to make an insight check?
Yeah.
I'll use my action to do that.
Okay.
19.
Same answer.
Glad. I look at Trakey. My friend's life is at stake. I will sit when Lark does.
Cepheus, and then Holik.
I will walk into the circle.
Do you want to make the save, or do you want to just allow it?
I'll allow it.
Okay, you know that he's affected. He has to speak truth.
Praise Ilmater.
He's like, Elmater.
You start to
is
say
a god.
Ilmater is the only god. I can't say it.
There is one God. Can I say that?
So
I just won't let you say it.
I'll say whatever you say. You're setting an interesting precedent here, which dictates exactly what Cepheus truly believes.
Ilmater's the only real God.
Okay.
I knew it. My eyes light up when I say it, and that's like confirmation.
Yeah.
I knew it was true. I love you, Ilmater. I'm gonna sit down and put the spear on the table.
Okay. Holik and then Venora.
Gonna lift up my hands, look over to the guard behind me, lift up my hands, and I'm going to walk back towards the table to where my seat was.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit again. And
Cepheus, did you want to sit in your seat, or you just wanted to sit? You didn't, because you won't be able to go reach where you were sitting before.
Well, we're all going. I wanted to pull up to the table where everyone's going. Yeah.
So Holik, you go back to
really
where you
matter.
were.
yeah, I go
Okay.
like past Cepheus a bit. And I'm gonna whistle for Vith.
Okay.
To come sit where he was.
Where was Vith?
He was diagonal to me, towards Lark.
Okay.
And like sit, but like staring, like ready to pounce.
All right. Venora and then Titus.
Venora's just in the other room.
I asked.
What is going on in there?
Has anybody who's been in contact with the food today left this building?
That's a good question. No. I run a tight ship around here.
Is that my action to do that? Or can
To
I-
ask that question?
Yeah.
No. You weren't rolling an ability check or anything. You're allowed to say one thing.
Can I
On your turn.
insight on?
On the cook?
Yeah. What does she look like? Is she looking dicey?
She was just dicing tomatoes.
Between the two of them, I mean, looking at the two of them with your like passive insight, I'll say like the two of them look. This guy looks kind of affronted by the commotion. She looks nervous, but you're not sure, like by the commotion, like the whole situation. But it doesn't seem as though her mood changed to nervousness when you asked her question.
Okay.
She looks the same as she did then. So who are you going to insight check?
I am going to insight check him.
Okay.
Since I asked him a question.
Yeah. What'd you roll?
19.
Okay. As far as you're aware, he is telling the truth. He just seems perturbed, annoyed by whatever's going on. He does not seem as though he's lying. The kitchen staff was myself and the servants. And my sous chef,
Can I ask him another question?
if it's quick.
Did Lark interact with the food when he came in?
Not as far as I'm aware.
That's probably all I can do. So I'll stand there.
He came asking about its expediency.
Okay.
That's all.
Excuse me.
This door is closed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Titus, Clonus.
I let him go.
He slumps to the ground. He looks up at you just venomous eyes.
I go back to my spot, but I use 2 chairs instead of 1.
Breaking as you sit down, breaking the arms.
Oh, they have
the
arms?
left, the left arm.
I won't do that.
One cheek, the other cheek.
So I'll like pull out the chair and I go to sit down, and it looks like it's gonna go horrendous. But as I'm sitting, I shrink back down to my size.
Okay. Sitting in the chair, your feet kind of dangling off the front.
I'm definitely kicking my feet also.
I did some.
Clonus and then Trey.
I did something. Clonus is going to step over to the chair and go sit down. Go step back to his chair and sit down.
Okay. Trake. Still training his crossbow on
Edovard.
Edovard. He's just sweeping the crowd a bit with it. He's like kind of looking at each of you in turn.
Terrible gun safety.
Will you put him
Well,
back?
it's not a gun.
Actually, no.
I also make the statement: I'm not a criminal. I feel like I have to do that when I'm not a criminal.
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a criminal, and then I sit down.
I was a good president.
So he kind of like trains it on Edovard for a second, trains it on the soldier, kind of like cocking his head, not sure of the guy. Trains it on. During the soldier's turn, sorry, these 2 soldiers also stepped in.
No.
I forgot to mention that.
Do they step into
That messes
zones?
up the whole plan.
No.
Trains on one of the soldiers, the other soldiers on Lark, rests on Lark for a little while. And it kind of rests on Lark as he goes back to his seat, taking a seat and holding the crossbow on the table in the direction of Lark, hoping that Edovard gets out of the way. Lumen.
Lumen, 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 lumen. Little flying
Doom and Lumen.
truth seer lumen.
Truman. Lumen.
It's very tense in here.
These guys.
I'll just look at Lark, and then I'll look back at Drake and ask him, is there any questions you'd like to ask him?
Are you staying where you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anyone else that's in here. Even me.
Me, is there any questions you'd like to ask him?
You just say that and you stay there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he gestures or anybody kind of gestures me to do anything.
All right, Ghibli, anything from Ghibli? Is he staying what he's doing?
Staying there.
The guards, the door behind them, just kind of swings shut, and these 2 guys are spear and shield, holding their shields in front of them and their spears to the side of them, kind of near the door, but not like crossing blades in front of it, but near it. Lark, he picks his chair up off the ground, walks right here, and sits down.
Outside of the circle.
Still holding his sword at his side. Kind of in front of him, towards Clonus, I guess, the general direction of the party.
Why would you do that? It's so obvious what you're doing. He said sit in your chairs, so I guess he technically did that.
I don't intend to play into anyone's games. Is anybody going to take any combat action, or are we out of initiative?
I think we're good.
Unless anyone's like of
This
that
isn't a
much.
game, Lark. I'll have you take part in this spell.
Those other 2 guards are just like looking very quizzically at the room, but they know when not to speak up. Like their high commander and their first lieutenant are in here, seemingly at odds with one another in some regards. So they're like, and then the 2 guards who saw everything, one of them is just kind of like standing there, arms crossed, and he starts walking towards the corner of the room, and you see him just kneel down carefully and pick up his spear, like looking at the room, and he just stays standing in the corner with his spear in hand. The guy who lost his spear to Cepheus will stand here, kind of next to that other guard, and you see him just out of the corner of his mouth kind of whispering something to that guard, because the 2 of them that walked in, after all this are just kind of like not speaking up, just trying to take it all in.
Does my passive perception hear what they're saying?
What is your passive perception?
16.
No.
Do any of the guards look like Warrenus?
Warrenus? No.
Sean Warren, okay.
None of them look like those guys that were investigating the room that night, but Warrenus was the one that you guys were pretty certain was crooked,
Is
right?
she?
Yeah, none of them look like
Smart.
Warrenus. I would have mentioned that too, because they were here a while ago. I would have mentioned that if you recognized him. Because they don't wear helmets.
Take part in this, Lark. Just answer the questions truthfully. I'd like to know if you were poisoning me then.
Can I hear any of this?
Are you coming back into this room? You can hear, like, muffled through the, like, crackle fire there.
I just go to the door and see if I understand what's happening.
Okay, you peek in, and you see, like, people kind of sitting back down. Lumen is seemingly concentrating on some sort of magical spell. Did you make it look like the radius? Did you make the radius invisible or not? I said you can have the option of whether you make it visible or invisible.
I was thinking if they failed, then a little moth would kind of on the shoulder or their head.
Cool.
So Cepheus has this, like, glowing moth on his head right now.
So does Clonus.
And Clonus. But you see they're sitting there. Lark is in this awkward position over here, and you hear what Drake is saying at that moment.
I was going to ask, would you guys come out into the dining room and be witnesses?
For what purpose?
There's just been some disputes going on about food. And
Well, again, if Drake is unhappy, I've told him it's a family recipe. I couldn't possibly recreate it perfectly. The broth takes so many hours to create. If it isn't up to his liking, I just tell him I'd make it better next time.
I know it's poisoned, right? I heard that.
Yes, you heard him say to Drake, you've been poisoned, you know.
Watch Cepheus take the poison out of him.
So he doesn't want to come. He's like, if he doesn't like it.
I don't know if you know that the bull was poisoned. He whispered that to Edovard. He said to he whispered to Edovard, the bulls are poisoned. That wasn't made public.
So that wasn't me.
But what he said pretty loud was to Drake and said, I think you just told him that you have been poisoned, right?
I don't have any reason to tell them they have to come in there right then. I'll just stand here and listen.
Sounds rambunctious. If they're fighting over the food, then let the servants deal with it.
Okay.
I was watching to make sure they're not leaving. Nobody's coming in or out.
Is anybody chiming in, or are you guys just letting Drake and Lark, me, talk to each other?
Lark, while you're standing out there, his broth is poisoned.
His broth is poison.
That's right. So is his veins. Look.
And I'll roll my sleeve and show the blackness of my veins.
Which is right. I mean, I had just described, like, for the moment of the spell, but, like, we'll say
if there's nothing visible, then I won't say that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be visible at this point.
Okay,
it's just a poison within you. It was just like the imagery of him transferring.
Then that's fine. Because I only saw it in him when I was detecting poison.
Yeah, so. You hold up your burnt arm.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh my. No.
His broth was poisoned, but even before he had any, he was poisoned. I sensed it. And yous was in that kitchen, Lark. Doesn't look good.
Yes, so were two...
Oh, scoot a little closer.
And 2 cooks and 4 servants were in that kitchen as well.
Well, tell me that when you're closer to the table, Lark.
And my lord, he is conveniently too far for...
He stands, he drags the chair back to his space. He does not sit, he just puts the chair to its side and he stands there. In the radius, he fails.
What's up with you?
Moth. A moth. There's a glowing moth flutters onto his forehead.
As he moves, I heard about the broth being poisoned, and I turned to the cook. Well, it seems like they're arguing about poisoned soup. So
Poison?
Want to just come and explain?
I know exactly which servant it would have been.
Let's go tell them then.
I've been trying to get rid of this one for years. This is my opportunity. Stu is going down. And he's going down with the broth.
Stu is going down with the stew.
What did Stu do?
What?
What do you?
The two of them follow you through that doorway. Okay. As you walk through, I hear poison broth. There's a stew. And this, like, long, like, slowly wagging finger. And he points at that, like, little halfling man that you stumbled into. Stu has been saying for years that the master was just less than good. But I know. He made a couple of snide comments about him, and I saw him watching him while he was sleeping. Trey kind of looks over. All right. If we're going to be making vast accusations, have a seat at the table, please. And this Stu, who is he? And he looks over, and you see the halfling, kind of like, I would never poison the master.
I don't agree with all of his political decisions, but I'm a servant. I would
Where do it? Is there
stew
a...
at the table.
So the little halfling he starts to sit next to Lark, then goes over here, sits next to Clonus.
Just a little moth.
He like walks in and immediately just like, kind of like winces a little bit, and then a moth appears on his head.
Where do you want these guys? I don't know where the...
I promise you, I did not poison any broth.
Perfect. Then he can leave.
How about you, Lark?
Lark does not say anything.
You want these guys
What was that,
over there
Lark?
too?
Why so silent, Lark? Did you know it was poisoned?
Allow us all to sit at the table and we'll have our discussion. That's the chef and the...
Yeah.
The chef would stand... Oh, well, no. Trake goes,
Do me a favor, Pierre. Would you stand, please, over there near Lark? I never really liked that guy. But there's a magical effect taking place. I do need you to, as your employer. Oh, very well.
slowly walks around the table. The lady just walking with him, kind of walking over there. She's wide-eyed, kind of slowly shuffling her feet.
Can I watch all the servants and just see if any of them like side-eyeing Lark like...
Sure. Make a general insight check.
Could I also do that?
Sure.
Can I do an insight check on the guards to see if any of them are like freaking out that
Sure.
like
What'd
they
you roll?
might go down with Lark?
15? Okay. Stu has now backed out of the area, and he just like... he goes over to near the doors. The servant standing near you is just kind of like awkwardly shuffling, like looking around, holding that like potted plant there. That's like a very young girl, like a young human girl. I believe one of you had like been served by her at one point. I think it was Cepheus, but she's the one that got somebody milk, I'm pretty sure.
Me, I had milk.
Yeah. And she's standing there just kind of like, she looks scared. Like that's all, the other two are just kind of like looking, waiting to be dismissed. It seems like they don't want to be in here. But she's the one that, if anything, is giving the most reaction of nerves or something like that, and she seems scared.
I rolled 2 natural 20s for that insight.
Wow. Did you have advantage? Okay. You're ruined. Okay. You are doing the servants as well, right? Okay. The two behind you both seem like servants that are caught in something that they have nothing to do with, and they are scared, but do not want to be in here for it, and they're just waiting dismissal. The one near Venora, she seems shifty and very scared. The guards?
13.
13? You're looking to see if any of them are just like freaking out, you said?
If any, like, if
This guy in the corner.
if they're siding with like Lark and like worried that they're gonna like have to take the fall or something.
Okay. The guy in the corner, what you get from him, he seems spooked. He didn't like having his spear ripped out of his hands.
Yeah.
These two are suspicious, but they are fairly reverently looking towards Drake.
Okay.
This guy equally looks spooked, and he is just kind of... You see where his eyes are darting back and forth to, or like from Drake, like just listening to the High Commander, and then quickly looking at Cepheus, just waiting to see if Cepheus like tries to kill him or something.
Okay.
And then looking at his spear, looking at Drake, like, you know, this... It's almost as if he feels naked without what he is supposed to be, you know, equipped with as a guard. And then he does just reach down into his boot and pull out a small dagger that he just kind of holds for reassurance. And he's just kind of like, the point of it is just on his finger as he kind of twirls it around. They will... The one in the corner steps forward, and then this guy steps over. At that, Pierre and the lady. A little moth appears on the lady's head. Pierre, a little moth, as he just like, his just massive weight, just he waddles forward. You can see he's like kind of hunched over. He's uncomfortable and breathing heavily from walking this far. He steps like forward a little bit towards the table, but like side-eyeing Lark, and just standing there with his hands behind his back.
What is it? What am I to answer? Well, there's been an accusation of poison, Pierre. You've been a faithful cook for me for the lion's share of 15 years. We don't always see eye to eye. Are you aware of a plot to poison me for the last year?
You see Pierre kind of squirming for a minute.
No. And I owe everything to you. I would never. Oh. But I know it was Stu. He says dark things about you when you're not looking.
And Stu kind of, I've said a few times I may disagree, and I don't like the way that the former lady was always treated.
He says darker things than that.
I already told you under the magics, I had nothing to do with the poisoning plot. I know you, Stu. I know it was you. If there's poison in that broth, know that it was Stu. No, it was broth, but know that it was Stu's fault. Have we ruled out that it may not have been poison, but simply the fact that, as I've told you many times, Commander, it's a very, very hard broth to get the taste of as you would like, and...
No, it was poison.
It didn't just taste off. And
Would you like to taste it then?
I believe you. Well, I tasted it as I was cooking it, and I'm still alive. Go on.
Sorry, really fast. This is Byron. Who just said that? Was that just
Pierre.
The chef.
Was that Pierre? Okay.
The big chef guy.
We changed voices.
Yeah. It's a hard voice to stick into.
I know.
Do you want to do it?
No, I don't. I just wanted to make sure that I knew who was talking. Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Pierre is like, That's Pierre. Yeah. Stu is like, I'm gone now. I'm leaving. And he like goes off into the kitchen, and then you hear another door from the kitchen. You watch him walk out that back door.
Oh.
And Pierre, hang on, let me get back into it. May I return to do my cleaning then?
Sure, Pierre.
She didn't answer.
She did not. Pierre starts walking out, and she starts to turn, kind of like holding onto his vest, and starts to walk with. Do you point that out? Mm-hmm. Are you back in here now?
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm like in between doors because I was watching where he was going.
Okay. Martha. And she stops. She turns. She steps back to the table. A moth appearing again. Yes.
Were you aware of such a thing?
I've been suspicious for years of Stu. But I don't think he's capable of such a plot.
Well, as we've discovered, he had nothing to do with it.
Yes, and Pierre adores you, sir. He really has tried very hard to get the broth exactly as you'd like, and I am very keen when it comes to some sort of nefarious activity in the kitchen. My last lord that I worked for had a very similar attempt on his life, and I keep a vigilant eye, and I have noticed no such tampering. Now, that is not to say that no such tampering has taken place, but I pride myself, and so my discomfort with the situation is purely guilt, and that I have taken it upon myself to be sure that nothing like this should happen, and if it is true, I have failed my duty. So I'm very sorry, sir. And she walks out with Pierre, who's standing there now kind of looking at her, and he just kind of looks down.
Oh, no, and I have neglected that duty, and knowing that she takes great pride in it, I have grown more lax in my perceptions, and it is not purely Martha's doing. I should be watching, and I'm guilty for your poisoning as well, even though I'm not the one doing it, sir. And Tricus, you two can go.
And they walk out. During this, Lark is backed up 5 feet.
Moth gone.
The moth. Sir, my disagreements with your methods have never been a secret. My displeasure with your blind fealty to the crown has also never been a secret. But these are rash and harsh accusations.
Well, then you should deny them while standing in a circle with a pretty moth on your head.
I will do just such a thing. He steps back forward again. Just kind of closes his eyes, and a moth just like flutters into existence, seeming as though he allowed it.
Did he?
He did. Actually, the spell doesn't say you know that he allowed it or not. It just knows whether you. But I'll just tell you that. I mean, you all saw him fail, but he allowed it to take place.
Just making sure he wasn't like minor illusion.
That's what I was thinking, minor illusion.
What are your questions?
Did you know about the poisoning?
Yes.
Was it you?
He looks over and you see him like look at that servant who's very nervous. You watch as he looks to that servant for just a moment. I'll say, Holik, you're the one that notices this. For just a moment. And he kind of eyes the girl. He looks at you. No.
Did you conspire to have him poisoned?
No.
Do you know where Gertrude is?
You get a ping as he's under its effect again. Right now. And you watch him kind of like pops his neck. No.
Can you find her?
I can try and help you. I am the First Lieutenant of Fort Trinity, and I have the military at my disposal. Now these questions, I can't say.
Do you know who poisoned Drake?
Can't say?
He is again under the effects of the spell all of a sudden, and you watch him like, kind of like move his neck around and, well, I couldn't say because it would be an investigation, and I would help you with it until we find her, but we might not. And he stands up quickly, or he was standing the whole time, and like he like puts his hands on the table, pushing himself away from it, now out of the radius. I'm done with these ridiculous questions. I'm tired of it.
When he looked at the servant girl, did I notice that?
What's your passive perception?
Super high, it's 9.
Yeah, no.
Did I notice him like trying to like cast a spell in his hands, like while he was within the circle?
I'll let you make one retroactive passive perception real quick. I mean, perception check.
Okay.
He does step back.
26.
As he steps back, you watch the moth. 26?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I didn't realize your perception was so high. Is it plus? Oh, you rolled that 20. Wow, okay. This Whisper is brought to you by Christian Influence Ministries. We appreciate that you listen to Avloran Legend, and if you want to find more content like this or a God-centered community online, go to discord.gg/Christian Influence. Thanks. So as you're saying that, he's stepped back. I'm done entertaining your fancies. I'm returning to my manor. You can call for me if you'd like tomorrow, Drake, and we can talk about this personally further.
I believe he knew you were poisoned.
I knew he was poisoned, and I intended to tell him just as I... You start running after him? Yes. So you turn and start like running in his direction. Yes. On the table again, or like around? Around? Okay, you start running and he sees you and he just kind of gets flustered a little bit. He takes 2 steps back and he just rushes out the door.
No. The guards let him?
The guards right here are surprised, but I'll have them make wisdom checks. Okay. That guard turns with him and runs with him.
Oh.
The 2 by the door both kind of like, ugh, and they start to like turn to intercept him, but are too late as he's already out the door. But he's not like gone. You can chase after him, Edovard.
Chase after.
Go,
okay.
go.
Drake like, oh, apprehend him. He's turning and running. He's guilty.
Then I run too.
Yeah,
okay.
We're all going.
You all give chase?
Yeah.
With the spear. Okay, so you all just start running out the door as you, one by one, what?
Can I just run to her?
Sure.
That's right.
You run to her? What are you doing with her?
I just want to like kneel in front of her and grab her.
Okay,
So
what
she
do you say?
doesn't leave.
You like grab her shoulders and she just like looks up at you and she's like squirming and you can see tears welling up in her eyes. Don't hurt me.
Nobody's going to hurt you. Would you just step over here for me for 1 second?
Roll a
everybody's
persuasion check.
running out.
Yeah. Roll. You don't know, but Venora carries, what is it called, a garrote or whatever? Will you step right over? What were you doing? Oh, 16, persuasion? Okay, so all of you are, we're going to say not on the map anymore. You're all running out. Venora, you guide her over to that direction, and she just kind of like walks with you, nodding, and then you put her into the radius. Okay, you watch a moth appear on her forehead as they're all running out the door. What are you asking her?
Has Lark or anybody ever asked you to put something to poison Drake?
I didn't know it was poison.
That's okay. No, we're not.
He told me it was medicine.
You're okay. That's totally fine. How was it? Lark himself who gave it to you?
Yes.
How long has he been giving you medicine?
6 months. The majority of the year.
That's okay. Okay. And
8-month years, for those of you forgetting.
do you have any of those, whatever he gave it to you in?
No, I have to destroy them.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, that's a lot
That's
of
it,
conversation
yeah.
while
Yep.
they're chasing. So while you guys are outside just chasing Lark, you see he's skidding around the corner, headed towards the front doors of the manor. You each running in turn. All of you have 30, except for Vith, 40.
Yeah.
I know. And Ghibli is 25. So Ghibli's like, yeah. You stayed at the table? Yeah. So then you heard that conversation with Nora and the girl.
Clonus just sits at the table.
Okay. So Clonus was in there for that. But you all give chase. For this chase, anybody that is running, go ahead and make it's basically an endurance check. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Did he leave too, this guard? He was the one that was over here.
No, he did not leave. And he's just kind of like awkwardly standing there with his dagger. He watched Cepheus run out with his spear and he, come on.
That's my good spear.
It's my only spear.
That's the one my mother gave me.
Did any of these guards leave?
The two by the door just like nodded and just sort of turned and ran with the crowd. The one that like had left his spear was like, he looks at Drake. I'm going to stay here and guard you, sir. And Drake, very well. So he stays by the door. Okay. All right. Everybody that's chasing, make a strength check for me. Actually, it's an athletics check.
24.
Vith, technically, as long as she still has a greater speed, this athletics check won't matter so much for her catching up. This is just for the rest of you, since you have technically the same speed number. We're going to see whether or not you can catch up. So the guard. All right.
What's this terrain like? Is this
It's like slick marble flooring in the manor. Actually, it would be wood flooring. And then once you guys get outside, it's like cobblestone streets.
Edovard then picks up the dagger he had thrown.
Okay, Levi, Holik, and Vith.
8 for me and 11 for Vith.
Okay. So you're not necessarily catching up. Vith is rushing forward and catching up as best she can. Clonus is staying. Cepheus?
18.
Okay, pretty good.
Ghibli, 7.
Ghibli is like barely out the door.
Mine is 20.
Wow, okay. So the two of you pretty high. Yours was 18, right, Cepheus?
Does Soap have to roll? He's got a 60-foot fly speed.
No. Soap similar but better than Vith. Soap can catch up.
24.
Okay. Lumen?
15.
Okay. You have a 30-foot fly speed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you, not having to worry about terrain necessarily, or like flying over, should you please. And so you fly quickly over Ghibli. You fly over Holik as you're like passing through the manor door. Lark is running out at Edovard. As Lark just busts through the front door, two guards are not expecting something like this from behind them. The two guards that are standing out in front of the manor itself, seemingly now confirming that the two guards that were with him were ones he brought, not the two that were at the manor's front. What's going? And he just like dashes past that one guard running with him, and you're close enough to see just as he gets out and those before the doors close, before you rush through them, you see Lark reaches down to his waistband, like grabs something out of it, and you watch him like crush this like sphere of magic in his hand, and then yell just this like in this language you don't recognize, and you watch runic words shoot out from where he was just speaking, and they like go out off into the night sky.
Cool. I don't recognize the spell or runes if they were cast.
Make an Arcana check.
I'm so arcanic.
23.
23?
Ooh.
I know my spells.
Ooh, whisper time.
All the whispers.
I don't want to know the spell.
It looks like he's communicating with something, sending a message.
Okay. As you bust through the doors now, those two guys, one of them's going to reach out and try and grab you, not knowing what's going on. Make an athletics check. No.
Tell them.
You basically have to crit fail for this. He rolled terribly. Oh, nat 20?
Yeah.
So you go busting through the door, and just as you do, the guard, stop, explain what's going on. And he like reaches forward, and you just like, boom, like a ninja or a monk, right? put up your fist with your forearm, like bat his hand away, and totally giving him dead arm. And you just rush by. Immediately behind you, Titus runs. Okay, Titus running out. Okay, and then Cepheus directly behind them, and then it's a little ways for the rest of you. Well, it's just you. No, it's you and Ghibli. But at that, Cepheus, you see Vith overtake you, like rush past you at this point too, and you guys see as Lark is like nearing the end of the gardens, rushing off like down the street. Edovard, you're like 15 feet behind him, gaining on him.
As soon as I see him, I'm gonna cast a spell.
As soon as you see him, what's the range on?
60.
60? Okay, when you see him, you fly through the doors. He is, as far as you're aware, he's like right on the precipice of 60. He might just be too far, or he might be right at 60. You want to cast it?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Let's go for it.
Roll a D100 for me.
Oh, you can.
100.
What do I want? A high number?
I'm not going to tell you.
He needs to infuse the dice.
I know. Come on. Something that is wanted. I think that's a 23. It's a 20 and a 3. So 23.
Yeah, 23. Okay. What are you casting?
Command.
Okay. That's a charisma save, right?
Yes.
What is your command? It's one word.
Can I tell them to sleep? Is that a thing?
It has to be something they can like.
They can reasonably do. So you can try.
There's grovel, which is the given.
Yeah.
Or you can say stop. You can say go.
I'll say return. Second level, so I'm going to try to get both of them.
Oh, him and the guard? Okay. The guard is directly behind him, so I'll say with certainty the guard is within the 60 feet. So I'll have him roll a charisma save. Okay. The guard stops. Oh no, it's technically their next action. So the guard keeps running, but kind of like looks back at you, unsure. And Lark, what's your spell save DC?
Mine? I think it's 14. Yeah.
19?
14.
Okay.
19 would be good.
120? Wink, wink, 19.
Lark like looks over at you confused as he's kind of still running away. And then Lark and the guard both stop and turn around. And just at that, Edovard, you crash into them. Cepheus crashes. Vith crashes into them.
Grapple.
Edovard gets there first. What are you doing? Actually, and then Titus gets there, and then Cepheus gets there. It's like ding, ding, ding.
Leg, bird give assist.
You're attacking him?
Yes.
Okay. Make an attack roll with advantage. Titus?
I go to put on my manacles that I bought.
Good job.
Okay. So you were running, like grabbing them out.
I raise the sword above my head, 2 hands, and cast booming blade.
Okay.
It's cocked. It's literally cocked.
Okay.
I have advantage because my bird.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20.
Please.
Boomed by the blade.
Just
Through the legs.
rolls it 3 times, gets a natural 20.
Boo, it's cocked. Oh, I have advantage.
The first one was literally.
I know, I saw it. Okay, what's the damage on that?
So it's 2-handed, so it's a D10 and then a D8.
Since he's attacking, this is starting initiative. But you guys will be next to him. I'll just put you guys on like a line right here, so we know who's where.
I stab it in, thunder that courses into his leg, and then if he moves, he'll take another D8.
Okay. So what's the damage on that?
Oh, it is 18 piercing, or slashing technically, because it's a longsword, and then 6 thunder.
Wow. So 24.
Nice.
And then I ready another one.
Okay. Titus, as you reach, what's his face? Lark. You want to run up to him, try and manacle him?
Manacle.
Make an athletics check. A grapple check.
22.
Okay.
Nice.
Goodness me. Keep that roll well.
Roll bad.
Oh.
No. No. Don't be checking the sheet. He just has to fail outright.
And you holding them out, go to like clamp one of his hands down with one of them, and he just sees you coming and like pulls his hands back, puts them both behind his back with his sword behind him, and he just kind of dodges backwards. You do not get him with them.
No. Bad guy.
He's fairly acrobatic. Okay, is that your turn? NPC 1 is this set of guards. They go running and keep going, each with manacles in their hands. Actually, one of them has a set of manacles. Ghibli?
Dashes and can get next to that Vith, I think.
So Lark already turned, started running. Are you opportunitying what's your face?
So many
Jude?
So this is his next turn after the return command?
That happened like out of combat.
Okay.
And he stopped and started to turn back, and then you guys crashed into him. Because that's why I said he was like still running and then stopped, and you crashed right into him. So now he's turning and going.
I'll definitely try and make a grapple check.
Does he take the booming blade?
Technically, if he doesn't leave because I grapple him, he won't take the damage.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to resolve.
So you're attempting a grapple, go for it.
21.
18.
No move.
Okay, he does not move, so he doesn't take any extra thunder.
No.
Grappled.
So you grab a hold of him and he stops. I'm tired of this. And he looks at you. No. He throws his rapier to the side. Don't do it. You watch as he looks at you. You're not so special. And he like kneels down as you're like holding on to him, and he reaches his hand, like with his left hand behind his back, he reaches his right hand down to the ground, and you watch just this like swimming blackness on the ground as he grabs and he pulls out this scythe. You see standing there holding this scythe. It's this like long, thin metal pole, and at the end of it, the blade is this jagged but razor sharp. It looks like a fang, but it is thin and metallic. But it's almost like it's got the texture of bone or something, or tooth, like this long fang, but it is like glimmering silver. And the edges of it just kind of have this like black jagged edge as he holds it and he looks at you and he swings for an attack.
Oh, no.
Okay, that is a hit. And he will, you watch as he swings it above him. As he does, it just like spins around rapidly, just with one hand. And I mean, uncharacteristically fast. This like incredible spin. As it comes down with his hand from this spin, he just slashes across your chest. And you don't see it. It's just this blur of light that's just across your chest. And you watch as he does it, there's this kind of like twisting to his body where you see the light that this thing projects off of it, or it's like a trail behind it. As he does, that trail like attaches to his shoulder, and you watch energy shoot through that trail and into you. And underneath his eyes grow just a little sallow.
What are you doing?
So you take... Okay, not the greatest roll on the damage die. But then for the extra... Okay, yeah, okay. So the slashing damage is 7. But the psychic damage is 9. As he slashes across, there's this like strange energy that siphons out of him into that trail of light behind it. And so in rapid succession, the blade, and then there's like a moment in time where things kind of stop, and you watch this like lingering glimmer behind it, this like trail of strange, almost aurora borealis kind of light behind it that jumps to him, siphons energy, and then slashes across you again. And you feel this like, your mind is racked. And there's a moment where your mind kind of like shifts around, and you feel like you aren't, you're here. You aren't, nope, you're here.
Whoa, what is this?
And then he just grins at you.
But you've still got him grappled.
But you've still got him grappled. So like holding on to the edge of his shirt as he like pulled back again, he just looks at you. All right, you want to do it this way? We'll do it this way.
Lark ends his turn, and Titus invokes a rune, forcing Lark to make a saving throw, which he fails spectacularly. And failing this rune, he is charmed, incapacitated, and his speed becomes 0.
You watch as you activate this rune and it flickers before him, and he just looks through it right at you. Unaffected.
Oh.
He's immune to charm.
But not
It was
the
worth a
other
shot.
part.
Well, it is a charm that causes this, right?
The creature is charmed by you for 1 minute.
Yeah. Which he is immune to. That's that Fey ancestry.
Yeah.
Finstry.
Gross. I had to try.
Yeah, no, valiant effort. And if not for that racial ability, he crit failed. So
it hasn't succeeded yet this campaign.
sorry. It was Ghibli's turn, I believe, and Ghibli ran up, and then it was Edovard's. So that was your reaction before, because I had forgotten that it was his turn. It's now your turn. So you're holding him. He's like, ugh.
Before I move, I'm gonna take a sword attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a sword attack and give myself advantage from the bird.
15 to hit him?
Yeah.
Misses. So you swing, and he just like...
Attack.
Did you let go of him?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you run by, letting go of him, he kind of like shifts away, just tracking with you as he's turning, and you go to swing the sword now, and he just dodges backwards.
And then I swing at him with an axe.
Okay.
Advantage for flank.
Okay.
Very good. 25.
Hits.
Add a d6 of ice to it as Vith.
Ice is boned. So it does 5 plus 4, which is 9, plus 1 ice.
Okay. You slash into his side, and you see ice kind of coalesce around the wound, and then like fracture off, and he... All right, ending your turn. Lumen.
Where's he at?
He's like 35 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm gonna cast. It's Fey Fire.
Fairy Fire?
Yeah, Fairy
Okay.
Fire.
So, who are you casting it on?
Basically, it's just the two guys, right? Lark and.
Okay, so 20-foot cube. So, right here would get Titus, both guards, Lark, and Edovard.
He could make it this, so it's only these three. So
Yeah, would you like to do that? So it's
Yeah.
Edovard. Oh, not Edovard, is what you're saying?
not Edovard.
Okay, so one of the guards that's helping you, the guard that's running with him, and Lark. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll
The
be
guard that's helping you succeeds.
Yeah.
The guard that's running fails.
Yeah.
Lark succeeds.
Gosh dang.
Sorry.
And his outline will be the same color as the green of my wings.
So that is the guard that you guys don't like. This green light appears around that one. He cannot turn invisible. He'll still be outlined if he does. But also advantage on attacks against that guard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ending your turn?
And then it says also objects
Yeah.
can shed dim light. So if it's dark, it'll be
Yeah, it's dark.
just more ambience for the fight. I don't know.
Yeah, this like green glowing. All right, Holic and then Clonus.
I am going to action dash and order Vith to try to knock him prone.
Okay. Does she have to run like 10 foot in a straight line first? Is it that thing? Or you're just trying to
this
make...
is like the action, like prone.
Oh,
the trip
like to
attack.
shove? Okay. It's going to be acrobatics for him? Okay.
No.
18?
No.
Okay. So he lunges forward with these like clawed legs, going to push at him. He just like dodges to the side, and in Draconic, he just goes, pathetic.
Wow.
All right. Clonus and then Cepheus. You're in the room with them. You guys rolled though, so is there something you want to do? Because you're in the room with Venora. You heard the servant admit to doing this, and crying, saying that he was telling her it was medicine. What are you doing? Are you doing anything?
Clonus wants to ask the girl all she knows without interrogating her, instead taking a more comforting approach. By telling her he understands she believed she was doing the right thing at the time, but is now aware of her mistakes, Clonus hopes she will tell the party anything that may help redeem her in this situation and bring justice to Lark. Clonus then makes his persuasion check, and it's a 9.
9? Okay. She's no more comforted than she was, but she's not like going to lie to you or not answer. She's just like, you didn't really put her at ease. The situation is still scary, and she was focused on Venora, and you started talking, and she looks over at you. You can see she's just like racked with guilt, and she's afraid. It just doesn't seem like, it's not like you're talking and you're bumbling. You say exactly as you say it. It just doesn't seem for her to be enough. You know, sometimes you try and talk somebody off the edge, and it's just not enough, right? But she does look at you, and I didn't know. Cepheus?
Am I able to get flank here?
I don't know how you would.
Yeah, he can go past for Viths.
Yep, you can get there.
And I can hit him with my spear.
So it's a straight roll.
That's what I want.
7? I'm sorry. You rush around with the spear. This weapon is just, it's not yours, and it's like getting used to it, and you go, and it's just not quite as long as you're expecting it to be, and you just kind of whiff past. Bonus action?
Actually, no.
All right, ending Cepheus' turn. Venora, is there anything you're doing with the girl?
No, I'm just going to turn to
Trake.
And what has he been doing while he
He's been walking to your direction. So go ahead and put him next to you.
Child, it is okay. I do not hold any ill will to you. You didn't know. I'm sorry you were put in this position.
And you see him like pull something out of his pocket, and with it covered, he like reaches for her, and he produces a small knife. No, I'm just kidding. You see he like holds his hand out, and for her to put her hand in, and she like puts her hand in his, and then with his other hand he puts his fist over it, and you hear like a jangling and a clinking as he moves his hand away. You see just a small mound of gold pieces, and he like folds her hand over it.
Take this money to your mother. I'm very sorry you were in this position, and you'll be moved out of the kitchens. Have no fear.
And she, kind of just crying, tears rolling down her cheeks, she looks up at you, like inquiring if she can go.
Where do you live? Where are you going?
She lives in the manor. She's one of the house servants.
Perfect. Yeah, go to your mother. Actually, I'll follow her too.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that there's not assassins in her.
Sure. You turn and the two of you exit the room. As you're exiting,
Can I go with them?
Sure. Clonish, you walk with them. And Trake, just you and me, Trake. I'm gonna kill you. Trake, as you're leaving, says to that guard, I'll be fine. See them to their rooms. As you all start leaving, the guard walks up. Are you going with him, or you can stay?
I look at you when the guard comes with us.
I go back in there once
Yeah.
the guard's gonna just exit the room.
You go back in with Trake?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're walking out, and the guard kind of... When you see your friend next, can I have that spear back, please? I'm not going to be... I'll follow you to your rooms to guard you, but I'm not going to be very effective with this dagger, but I will do my best.
I'll make sure you get your spear back.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Did you get the spear out of the corner?
That was the other guard that did get
I
it.
still make the comment.
He's like, nope, that was my friend. Yeah, that was Sean. That was Sean. My name is Garrett.
I'm writing this down. Garrett and Sean.
Okay. You'll want to remember the name Garrett.
Garrett and Sean.
My name is also Sean. It's spelled different.
Yes. Mine's Scene. So, Trake looks at you, Clonison. Thank you. I always appreciate the help. Extra guard.
Not a problem. Perchance you can find me a weapon?
He like reaches underneath the table from where Holik was sitting, and you hear like a loud click, and he...
It was next to me!
You hear a click and watch his arm move down, like something drops into his arm, and he pulls his arm out, and he tosses you a sword. Actually, no, it wouldn't be a sword, because it was something hefty. He tosses you a mace. So, like, just this spiked ball at the end style.
Is it nice?
It's pretty nice. Yeah, he, like, tosses it to you. No, it's not a chained thing. It is a long metal rod with a spiked ball at the end, which he tosses to you, and you grab hold of it. It's hefty. It's nice, like well made, but it's definitely seen use.
Okay.
Which, in a weird way, gives you like more respect for him and it. Okay, now that whole done. The guard who's with Lark.
Very fine.
Boss, what are we doing? We're getting out of this. And the guard nods, looks at Edovard. He will, with his spear, go to make an attack against you. That's really good. It's a hit, in case you're wondering. Okay, 9 damage. As he just glances past you, carving across your side, kind of tearing some of the bandages around your abdomen. That guard that was standing there, how could you do this? And he takes his spear and he'll attack that one with an opportunity attack as he turns.
Nice.
You're a traitor. Okay, he hits.
He's advantage, right? 20.
He rolled worse. Okay. He does 7 damage to the guard who on the back of his leg as he like limps forward. Okay.
21.
Hits.
3 damage.
Okay. He's still like ending his turn. Now it's back to the top of the round, Titus. And then it will be Lark.
Bonus action go big, and then I'm gonna mana clone.
Make an athletics check. Much, much higher. 28, baby.
Oh, that is good.
We talking about this guy's dexterous, this guy's strong too.
No, that was acrobatics.
Oh.
It is now his turn. He kind of like just barely dodges out of the way. You holding this massive manacle going for his neck because it grows with your size as well. So you go like that, and he's like, and he dodges down, crashes over him. That one is scary. And then he looks back at you, Edovard.
Bad.
Where did you get such abilities? She didn't mention anything like this. And he whispers to you so that only you can hear. You want to come over here?
Does my passive perception hear it?
And here we go.
No.
Have you considered my passive perception?
-5.
How about my passive perception?
And then he swings
No.
his weapon.
Don't do that.
No, don't.
He whispered a secret thing to you, and now he's gonna kill you, so no one's gonna know.
So with advantage,
Scared.
ooh,
Ooh.
he hits.
Shield.
You're casting shield?
Yes.
Okay. Which brings your AC to what?
21.
Oh, it misses. Just by 1. As he slashes this scythe past you, you watch as this radiant shield like project from that magic armor forward, and he spins quickly. He goes for another strike.
Don't.
Don't what?
Hit.
Oh. Okay, he misses. As he and it batters off of it. Yeah.
Nicey.
He just nods. He will
Opportunity attack.
This man knows what's up. I use my reaction.
He run by me.
Out of
He
your
ran
range.
away from you, yeah.
Do I get a reaction?
Opportunity attack.
Get him.
Grabble.
ahead.
Mine was a 22 to hit.
I rolled really well. Oh. Is it, what is it?
It's athletics.
20.
You succeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Not today.
So, Cepheus holds him in place there. Okay?
And I had a 20 to hit.
Go for it.
So,
So you slash him as he runs away?
no, I punch him because I don't have a weapon.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, 5, and then I
What did you roll to hit?
a 20.
Oh, okay. That's the best Levi's ever rolled in his entire life.
I've been doing good.
Wow. Thanks.
I mean,
7 damage.
Oh, wow. With a punch?
Yeah.
That's 1 plus your...
It's 1 plus my strength plus a D4 for favored one.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So as he's going to turn away, you just clock him in the side of the chin, and he just... and that kind of like puts him off balance a little bit, and then Cepheus grabs a hold of him, keeping him in place. Okay. 7 damage is pretty good. Like, you clocked him. Yeah. He just like... And as he's like held there in place, he like puts his hand up to his jaw and like looks at you, just a bit confused. You don't look that strong. All right, now it is the other guards who will step forward. One of them will make an attempt to manacle him.
Fail. Oh, wait, no, succeed.
Fails so miserably.
Gosh dang, why did I say fail?
The guy rolled a 2 and he rolled a 26. So the guy like, yeah, it's your fault, Levi. The guard like lunges forward, and Lark just grabs the center of the manacles and throws them off to the side. The other one doesn't have manacles, but he will attempt a grapple as well.
very good.
He gets him. What's his name? Crit failed. Lark crit failed. So already being grappled by you, this guard just like holds him and pushes him down slightly to hold him against the ground.
He'd have to.
Open up for an attack.
Nah. Ghibli?
What weapon does the back guard have?
A spear.
Ghibli is going to attempt to disarm him.
Okay.
Disarm.
So it's just an athletics check.
24.
5.
So he takes his spear. Ghibli now has a weapon.
The guy just, not again. Dwarves.
And he was just able to make it to that
Dwarves
guy.
are thieves.
Is this the dwarf that? He's comically
This is the guy that you took from, yeah.
This guy is another.
He's comically racist.
He's comically racist.
Okay, Ghibli's got a weapon now, but that's the end of his turn unless he's going to bonus action.
Ghibli will accent surge.
Accent.
Okay,
Okay, make an attack roll with the spear, which he's proficient in.
And he has advantage because his fair
So, he's got the prove.
That's a 20.
Hits. D8 plus a strength modifier.
9 piercing.
Okay. Against this guard, he just
Yeah, it's piercing.
skewers into the guy's stomach. The guy and falls to the ground dead.
You just.
Can I choose to be non-lethal?
Sure.
Smack him across the face.
Just have it be unconscious?
So you just like smack him in the side of the head with the thing and just watch him like fall to the ground unconscious.
That's Ghibli's turn.
Okay.
You can check the storm.
Ending Ghibli's turn before Edovard's turn.
No. Terrible news. It's the Black Rider. But he's white this time like Gandalf.
Gandalf.
I'm good now. I've been to the grave.
I died.
But I came back.
Thug.
He's very young.
Thug?
Random.
You mean one phone call and he called Thug?
No, it's Thug Armstrong, the strongest man in Fort Trinity.
It's Poopan.
He's just walking by at a tavern. This is my moment. I'm trying to escape. I couldn't escape it.
He reaches into the back of his pants.
And he just got poop in his pants.
Oh no. Okay, running down the street out of some alleys, you see 4 thugs.
What?
Oh, it's the
Greasers.
Slicking back their hair.
Oh no,
It's the Jets! Get out of here!
Grease lightning. Whoa. I don't know the words.
Okay, you see rushing out. They're like, they've been running for a bit. You watch as they get their Hulk. You see one of them like run up behind Edovard. You see his like exposed muscles from this like leather jerkin he's wearing. It's like a tank top cut though, are just abnormally large. And you see this like red pulsing through his arms, and a glimmer of this strange kind of like almost pearlescent shimmer to his eyes. And then you gotta quickly look around. Each of them are similarly affected, except for the one directly behind you. You look over your shoulder and see him standing there, and just kind of like swimming around his head is that energy. What? They're all gonna take attack rolls.
He's got a big brain now.
I've got a big brain now.
Oh, I've got a big brain now.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for. Where'd you get these thugs?
It's just
all 4 from using.
You'll die tonight. I will kill you.
Is that Hugh Jackman?
The whole rest of the game, or the whole rest of this fight has to be done.
it's just all a musical. We're all breaking out into song because of his.
Cast musical. Oh, no.
He casted musical.
With a swing of my axe, your skin will be peeled. Shield, shield.
He's using an attack phrase to cast shield. With the skin of my axe, your skin will be peeled. Shield, shield.
These guys are great. We'll double your pay.
Okay. So the one behind you, Holik, just this reckless attack slashes into you. He crits.
On a tooth.
Can I borrow a D12?
Oh no, it's D12.
As he pulls this massive axe off of his back. That is 18 slashing damage.
Ooh, that hurts.
Think of that 10, Mike.
That hurts.
The one behind you, Cepheus, pulls out this long sword, just recklessly swinging. Okay, that's a 23.
Barely, but
But it's not a crit. Okay, 8 slashing damage. The one near Ghibli. Misses Ghibli, I think, with a 15.
Oh, it does miss. Rippers.
Okay.
Whoa! Punish him, Gibby.
Gibby! Oh, wait, can he? Oh, yes, he has the spear.
Yes, he can.
Spear.
What do you get?
12.
Misses.
Gosh dang it, Gibby.
Gibby!
He goes from fun-loving Gibby to Gibby falling from the ceiling.
All right, so the one behind Edovard with advantage. That's 23 to hit you.
23 hits with shield, you're awesome.
Shield's still up?
Because he
Start of my turn, or end of my turn.
Booger. Okay, so this one's longsword, 14 slashing damage. Slashing across your back, you see just this like pulsing red energy into his strikes. Okay, ending their turn. Now it's you, Edovard.
What about him?
Terrible news.
At this, Lark. Thanks for the help, boys. Let's get out of here.
Like Scoops, let's get out of here.
What are you doing?
I walk through Cepheus' space and take a longsword swing at him. Lark.
Okay, as you do, that thug is going to take an opportunity attack. That's another hit. Okay, so it was a 22.
Yeah, so that's...
Sorry, man. That's 11 slashing damage as you step away.
I'm down.
Gosh dang it. Why did you have to move?
Edovard goes down. Lark nods at the guy that did it. Looks at Cepheus, just inquiring, like an inquiring look. That's one. Lumen, it's your turn.
Who's surrounding him right now?
Two guards that are not his friend are right next to him. Cepheus is right next to him, and a thug who is his friend right next to him. And then on the ground is Edovard. Oh, and I think Vith is in the square right here. Is Lumen fluttering forward at all?
Yeah, I'll flutter forward.
They're fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cure wounds is touch.
Yes.
I will. Who else is a healer that I know of?
You've seen Clonus heal, you've seen Cepheus heal, you've seen Venora heal. So Cepheus is the only one here.
You've
also seen Holik
heal.
heal.
Dang it. Okay.
You
Can I
cantrip?
cast Sanctuary on someone that's down?
You can do it on Edovard. You doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. You cast
then-
Sanctuary on Edovard.
That's a bonus action.
I think so, yeah.
And then I can
You got
do
a
a
cantrip?
cantrip, right?
Cantrip,
Okay.
that's an action, yeah.
I will do Toll the Dead.
Okay, on Lark?
Yeah, Lark.
Okay, so it's if he's taken damage, it's less, right? I mean, it's more damage.
Yeah.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save,
He
yeah.
succeeds.
But he hears it, right? Kind of.
Yeah, there's this loud ding bell as he looks up. Nothing happens. All right, is that the end of your turn? You moved, you action, you bonus action. All right, Holik, and then Clonus.
I bonus action, Zephyr Strike. So a slight wind appears. I walk through Cepheus' space, and I touch Edovard, healing hands.
Edovard, you're getting healing.
6 healing. You're awake and alive.
You're awake and alive.
And Vith will run around him.
Okay.
Rawr.
Clonus, and then Cephas.
Could I have yelled something?
Sure.
Gods! As loud as I can.
Okay.
Gods!
So if there's
only one.
Say gods, right?
no guards.
Oh, guard.
Yeah.
I also thought you said God.
No, guards.
I was just making a joke. I
I'm
didn't
an
know you.
idiot. All right, Clonus.
Clonus doesn't know anything's going on
Yeah.
outside. Clonus has his thing. He's making small talk.
Okay.
How? So, what do you do for fun?
When my wife was alive, we would go dancing. Now I go hunting from time to time.
At least it's got a hobby.
I like to play cards. Very bad. What do you like to do for fun then?
Well,
And we'll just
He likes to play
Fade
them
away.
bad.
So can I take the flank that Jude didn't get?
Sure.
Much better.
I don't know if I believe you.
much better.
No,
That was very Lexi of you.
That's 17.
Hits? Yes. Right on the money.
Stab
Okay,
him.
so I do a 1d8 then.
1d8.
Okay.
Spear?
Yes, sir.
I am going to smite, but I do think we'll have to have a discussion on cause. Because if he was telling this girl it was medicine, don't you think that he was fundamentally the cause?
I'm more curious if it's a mundane thing that he's doing. Well, no, because he's the cause of what's running through your veins now. So yeah, you get the extra.
Nice.
All right, I need to know.
Illmater knows, Matt.
What?
Illmater knows. So you go like, I really feel like this guy deserves more because of what's in me, and Illmater's like, bingo. So you smite him. As you rear back with the spear, it's a D8 because you're holding two hands, I'm assuming, and you jab forward with it. This large 20? This like expansive radiant energy on either side of it, creating this large spearhead.
4 was
40? Oh.
And then plus your strength? Did you add your strength?
I didn't add my strength. There we go. I didn't even add my strength, which is plus 4 more, 24.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, with that, you stab forward. The divine radiant energy at the front creates this wider spearhead that just stabs into his thigh. Roars in pain. That really hurt him. And he looks at you just, okay. That sucked.
Good job.
I didn't expect that one from you. Okay, ending Cepheus' turn. Venora, you guys continue down the hallway. You walk, you start going up the stairs, and she's guiding you, and she kind of turns and, I'm racked with guilt.
How old is she?
She seems like she's 12, maybe 13, like 11 to 13.
This poor girl.
Was there anybody else who was also giving him the medicine? Or was it just you?
He told me it was my special assignment and that it was an experimental medicine made by a wizard who wanted to remain anonymous, so I was not to tell anyone, even my mother.
Did you tell your mom? Or anybody?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I should have. She would have known. And the guard walks along the other side of her and is like, hey, it's my job to protect the guy. I'm one of his soldiers. I'm supposed to protect my commanding officer and do his bidding at all times. And not do that or to avoid that would be not to obey his orders. And he stabs her.
I was just about to say, does he look sincere? Can I cast anything or do anything? Or is it...
No, unless you have a reaction.
I don't think I have any reaction spell.
To leave any loose ends would be a direct disobeying of his orders. He stabs her in the side of the neck and does 6 damage. And he just looks at you, pulls it out, and you watch as she just her eyes go really, really wide, and blood just starts to trickle out as she just kind of collapses towards you.
I catch her.
You catch her. She's just taking these raspy breaths, and her eyes are wide. She's terrified in this moment as tears just pouring down her face, and she's grabbing at your arms, trying to hold on until her hands just let go. And you look up, and he's turned around and started running down the stairs.
Is she dead? Or is she... can I heal her? Or is
she's a kid.
Spare the dying? Or is she dead?
Ooh, she had 3 hit points, and he did 6 damage. Sorry. NPCs have between 2 and 7. I gave her...
We're not fighting NPCs. We're fighting players.
You know what I mean, dude. They're monsters. He killed a kid. He's a monster. All right.
Anyone that we
unfortunately
fight are monsters.
She's clutching your dress at the sides as you just hold her, bleeding out in your arms. As you watch him start to turn and run, but you hold her.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're okay.
And she just cries until her hands let go and slump to her sides.
How far away can I thaumaturgy?
I don't know, but what are you trying to do?
Just
yell as loud as you can?
Yeah.
Just like a scream? Okay.
Just scream.
Just make a strength check. They're echoey halls.
Nah, 20.
Whoa. So this maternal cry, or an older sister just screaming in pain. There is this guttural tribal part of you, the orc deep down, that just war cries throughout the house. And you hear this like part of you, something like clicks, and you get to that point where it's not a scream and it's a roar, and it just echoes through the halls. Clonus and Trake, both of you, you're
Did I hear it?
Yes, but it's right when you're like, I like to write, and then you just hear, or what were you gonna say?
So when I was 7, I did what?
You know.
And run around the corner.
Okay. It's like, immediately to your mind, you recognize just like pain, anguish, and urgency in this cry. It's like a war cry, and...
You told us her age right before you killed her.
You asked her age.
You were setting that up.
You asked her age. I didn't go, oh, by the way, she's 12. And
he stabs her in the neck.
She goes, how old is she? And I said, between 11 and 13, you might guess 12. No. I accidentally gave it up earlier when I was like, the bad guy ones have spears. The other ones had shields. I was like, well, one of them was bad. It's like,
turns out more than one.
Is that my turn? Or do I think I stayed with
were
her.
you like choosing to stay with her rather than try and run after her? Yes. And then you thaumaturgy this cry. That was on your turn that we just did that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was his turn as well. He turns and he runs down the stairs. He's at the manor, front doors of the manor now. You hear him say to the guards that are outside the door, oh no, those two ran. No, that's these ones. The two guards at the front of the door still stayed there. He goes, which way did they go? All right, Titus.
Tidy.
Attempt to manful arc again.
So last campaign, you guys killed a kid. This campaign...
You gotta save a kid!
I killed a kid. To hit Lark?
To manacle.
Manacle Lark. Okay. Okay.
19 and 20.
He's pretty acrobatic.
That's natural with a D. Natural.
Natural.
So 26?
Prenatal 20.
24.
You did it.
So he like jumps back just as you... Because they're small, right? Okay. So you like quickly with your fingers. And he just... you like crush his arms in. Okay. You manacle his arms in front of him. Lark's turn.
Moment.
So he's technically restrained now. Okay, he still can attack, but with disadvantage. He will quickly spin that scythe around and with advantage attack Edovard.
With advantage?
Edovard's prone.
Oh, yeah. So it's just a straight roll because he's got disadvantage.
That's true. Natural 20.
Gosh dang it.
Sorry, dude. Look at it.
Titus, using his reaction, invokes a rune which forces Lark's critical hit to instead land on his own thug buddy standing above Edovard.
As he like slashes down with the scythe, you watch as this like trail of light leading behind it connects to him, and then this cloud appears in front of it. It absorbs the scythe, and a cloud appears behind that bandit, and all of a sudden, this like fang just nicks it in his back, and he just goes, "Ah!" He nicks in
with the natural 20.
This is the second nat 20 with this scythe. It's pretty cool.
Dude, this scythe is terrible.
But you see this like connection to it, and then he like shifts like this, and it breaks before any extra damage goes through. He can technically choose on the hit.
Evil.
11 slashing damage to his dude.
And did someone try to hit Edovard?
Yes.
That was what was going to hit Edovard.
But before... Oh, Sanctuary should have been first before that nat 20. He failed the Sanctuary immediately. He would have had to... Well, hang on.
It would have been
nat 20 to somebody else, which would have been Cepheus. And so instead of it hitting Cepheus...
I would have.
Okay, so instead of it hitting you, Cepheus, you see this thing coming straight for you. A cloud obscures your vision. And so you're like, I'm just going to die and not see it. And then nothing hits you. And then you hear, oh! And then the cloud disappears.
What a whirlwind for that guy. Miss one, miss two.
It hits the guy on the other side of him.
God of clouds.
His one ally of the 9 surrounding him.
Okay, that was funny. Then he just like, you watch him just...
Jerry just pointed a finger at Jude and's now looking through his notes, seeing what powerful magics he can do.
No, that's not what I'm doing. Well, actually, yes.
I am always right. Got
He
it.
also has magic points.
I'm gonna do something different.
Sorry,
just so
guys.
you're
Take a legendary.
Gosh dang it.
Jude, come with me.
Oi.
Oh no.
Jude, come with me. Come with me if you want to die.
I know, right?
I was thinking of the other one.
The hex no.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
He just manacled, holds his scythe, like plants it against the ground. You have me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him.
we got him.
Tell us, Santa.
Blood like and he's standing there with his scythe above you.
If I don't return, she will die.
Why would you go and say that?
What would you do?
How would I say?
So, he looks at you, Edovard. If I do not return, he will kill her.
Insight?
Sure.
Do I not roll?
Roll an insight. That's fine. Oh, your passive insight. They're not fighting. When they see him like acting like this, he kind of like looked at each of them. They all like stopped, and they're on guard but not attacking. Would you guys like?
I take attack of opportunity.
If combat's not out, then you don't get to do that. They're not like walking away. They didn't. I said they like step like this and like guard. Like they're stepping, take one step back, but they're not walking out of a space.
Oh, definitely passive insight. It's just a 10.
Okay. You don't think he's lying?
I do.
Okay.
I can't tell.
NPC 1 is the guard, the guards that are on your guys' team. They both reach to grapple him. He does not stop them. So they just, each of them grab a hold of his arms, and he just stands there holding his weapon. Ghibli?
So the guards have a hold of him.
And he's restrained. Attacks against him have advantage. And he can't move.
Ghibli will hold his action. Can he put himself like by Lark and a guard?
Yes, he
Yeah,
can
he
run
can,
around
he
and be
can.
in between
He can
Hulk
run the other
and
way
Lark.
around. Yeah.
That's what he'll do. And then if they do anything funky,
Okay. Stabbing anyone in range that does something funky. The thugs all look at him, and he just kind of like holds his hands up like this, and they just stand there at the ready in case anybody attacks, but they're not attacking, and they're just holding. If I don't return, he'll kill her.
Can I do an insight?
And if you kill me, you'll never know where.
Check. Can I do
Yeah.
the roll then?
If you kill me, you'll never know where she is. You can roll an insight check. 12. As far as you're aware, seems to be telling the truth. Mm-hmm.
Second one.
Okay. Yeah, we're technically in combat because some people said they were going to attack. Lumen, are you doing anything?
Can I stand up?
Yes, you stand up.
Thanks.
Just you stand up, staring directly into his eyes. You guys are about the same height.
Gonna fly over and guidance Edovard since they're
Sure.
chit chatting.
Yeah, you guide Edovard. He just looks at you. He doesn't respond. Holik, Clonus?
Can I do an insight check on what he said?
Sure.
16.
16.
I'm gonna, like, after doing the insight check, look over to Edovard, like past the guy, and like motion, what do you want to do? Because I'm thinking he's probably telling the truth. But like,
Clonus, you hear.
I go flying out that door. I'm
You
like,
rush out. Trake passes you pretty quickly.
did the guard that did the cut, did the stab, did he have to run past us to get out the front door?
This was down the right wing of the manor. You have to walk down this hallway, like away from this, to get to that center. And then so he would have passed this way. But when you come out, you do not see him run by. He has already run that
He's already
distance.
ran past.
Yeah. Because as soon as you get out here and like turn to the right, you'll see the stairs that they were like partially up, and he just ran down. And so he passed the hallway that you would have seen him before the scream happened.
I run out and I run as far as I can.
Yeah.
And I think can I see?
Since you guys are kind of more narrative focused, I'll give you a little grace. You get to the end of the hall.
I see Venora.
You look up, see Venora holding her, blood all over the front of Venora's dress, like sitting on the stairs with her.
What happened?
He killed her!
Trake had passed you,
He ran past the guards.
I turn and I just
You turn.
go for him.
Okay, that's where you like start running towards the door. Trake is at the door and pushing the door open. You see he's got that like huge crossbow slung over his right shoulder, and he's like pushing the door open, like moving it down like that.
Dude, what a guy!
I'm so excited.
I love this guy.
Next.
It's a powerful weapon. I'll just say right now, it's a powerful weapon. This is a powerful weapon. You know what? I'll say no. He had to. You guys both had to dash to get there. Oh, that's a bummer. But I'm the DM. I can do whatever I want.
I want to see this guy just.
He's in his own area.
It accidentally fires. No. No, it's just as he's opening the door and starting to lower the weapon, but it's going to have to be your guys' next turn there. Cepheus is before you. Cepheus, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Gotta get him back to Trake. And I grab him by the back of the head and start dragging him back.
He doesn't refuse. He just you just hear as like the weapon is just dragging along the ground in front of him as you pull him, dragging him backwards. The goons just stand there, kind of like not doing anything. And he gestures to them, go on back. Disappear into the night, my friends. Thank you for your help. I've given in. And they just kind of wait. They're not like turning their backs on any of you, but they're standing there just kind of like backing up slowly with their weapons at the ready in case anybody attacks. And he's just letting Cepheus drag him.
If you cause any more people to suffer, I'll break your bones, I will.
That'll be you guys causing her to suffer, not me. That has already been put into motion. Take me back to that manor, and she will die. But you could stop it.
Well, I could stop it right now.
Don't think so. You will set it into stone.
All right, I'm gonna grab the back of his head, and I'm gonna push his face into the ground. I'm gonna just push it as hard as I can into the ground, and I'm gonna whisper into his ear. Oh, I could stop it. I could stop it right now. Then once I'm pushing as hard as I can his face into the ground, then I'm gonna just start like pushing him forward, his face.
Oh, make an athletics check.
7.
You shove him into the ground, though. I mean, there's no resistance. As he kind of like lets you do this, it seems at first. Well, it's not like he could do anything about it, but he just limp in your arms as you just are pulling him backwards, and then you stop and shove him forwards. The weapon just like clattering to his side, still he's holding on with one hand, and you're just shoving his face into the ground and just like breathing heavily as you push harder, and then you hear something like pop a little bit, and then you just start shoving him towards the building. It's difficult to do because it's cobblestone, which hurts him more, but it's hard to like his face is catching on the cobblestone, which means like you're like pushing forward, he's like and there's just blood, and like you watch a tooth like spit out of his mouth.
Ilmater makes exceptions for the truly evil.
He's hurt.
Can I ask some questions while he's being dragged?
Yeah, you're pushing and you're like walking alongside, your arms behind your back, just kind of like talking to him. What are you saying?
Why do you hate us?
Okay. With disadvantage, make a persuasion check.
Okay. 13 plus 2.
Okay. He just...
Oh, you metal... and annoying... and offensive... there's an odor. And you just got involved when you didn't need to.
Titus picks up the manacles that had been dropped and restrains and proceeds to drag the knocked out guard along with the rest of the party back towards the manor.
Just as you guys are reaching this point and you're like talking to him, you hear and you look up and see a guard running straight for you guys, and this guard like stops and looks up. It's your turn, Manor.
It's a straight from where he's at, right?
From where you are, you're like we'll just say 30 feet from the door, where
Okay.
Trake is like opening the door and starting to lower his weapon.
So if I set her down and got to the door, could I see him?
Yes.
How far is it?
He's
Within
80
120?
feet. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I guiding bolt him.
You guiding bolt him from the door?
Yes.
Okay, so you carefully set her down on the step. Run straight for the door. Just as Trake is opening it, you like slide down onto one knee under where the crossbow is going to be, and you just shoot this blast of energy.
Is this the guy we see?
Yes.
The guy that
so
just
as
came towards
you are looking up, and this guy's looking at you, and he's like, where did they... Oh, you got him. Good. And then...
And it's straight.
It's a spell attack roll. Oh, inspiration?
Yeah.
If it's you, it's a 1-to-1. If you use it like for somebody else, it's a 2-to-1.
I'm going to use 6 and make it 16.
It hits now. It wouldn't have before. So just rushing forward, you barely have enough movement just to get to the door. As it's open, you see he's lowering the crossbow, so you're not going to be able to stand in that doorway. You slide down on a knee. You're already coalescing this energy in your arms, and you shoot it forward. This like crackling bolt of radiant energy shoots straight forward for him. Roll damage. This is gonna hurt. Roll a bunch of one?
Ridion?
I did.
Well, no, you rolled 2 and then some 4s and a 3.
8, 10,
13. Okay. So with that, you just launch this like crackling bolt of radiant energy that fires straight for him. You, Lumen, see as he like stops quickly looking up at you, and he's like, oh good, you guys got him. I was running as fast as I could when I heard, and you watch as this bright light from behind him kind of silhouettes around his head and then crashes through his face from behind him. You just watch it just and he just falls to the ground dead.
Oh, I need to use your weapon.
My cool weapon?
Yeah.
Oh well, you got him. Yeah, just straight through him. He's down. He's down. Collapses. So, and you're just like, oh. And then as you're kneeling there, Venora, something rests on your shoulder, like to use you for like to keep it steady, and then raises back up. And then like he takes a step back, he pats you on the back. Well done. You deserve that one.
Can I relate to Lark what just happened if he can't see it? Since his face is...
What'd you say to Lark? You laugh. No.
I'm gonna stop for a second, by the way, after he...
You guys were like just now at the gate, so you'd have to turn left to go into it, and that's when this guy ran up on you.
It'll be like a small like chuckle, not like a laugh, but it's just like a... I believe that was one of your dogs, whatever you want to call them.
Your god dog.
Is he dead?
Quite.
I guess you can't talk anymore.
All right.
You're welcome.
Do you guys walk with Cepheus, Edovard, and what's his name being pushed?
I'm like walking like sideways
to watch. No.
Watching back
backstabbing.
and having like Vith is just walking backwards entirely.
You guys get like 15, 20 feet away before they kind of are slinking back to in these shadowy alleyways.
Edovard wants to send his bird after one of the thugs and is asked to roll a stealth check for later, which prompts Jerry to roll a stealth check for the thug as well.
Pretty good. What's the passive perception of the bird?
He has a make a perception check?
He can make one.
Because he has advantage on making...
Sure.
23.
Okay. He spots him and watches him as he like goes off into an alleyway. All right. He gets like where he's disappeared from the rest of the group, and the guy turns and starts running real fast. But he can fly at 60 feet. What's his name? Puke or whatever. Okay, you guys are all kind of standing at this gate now that goes into the garden of the manor. You see standing at the door on either side of it are these two guards who, like, everything has happened so quickly to these guys, and they're both standing there. They look over their shoulder. They see Trake, their high commander, with this huge crossbow, like, back up now. And it's heavy enough that, like, when he takes a step back, his whole body kind of, like, shifts. He pats you on the shoulder. They see you just kneeling there with your arms still out, like little bits of energy kind of, like, firing off of your hands still. What are you guys doing?
I go back to...
They can't see us yet.
She saw you.
Yeah.
Because where she shot at that guy, he was standing right in front of Lumen, who was standing with you. You guys were 80 feet away at the end of this garden, at the gate that enters the manor.
So we did end combat.
Yes, I've ended combat.
Yeah.
The thugs are gone. Lark is not fighting back. and the other guy that was a Lark sympathizer, I guess you could say, just died.
Edovard wants to try and bind the hands and mouth of Ransom Lark.
Okay. He does not resist. As you're kneeling down to him, what's first, hands or mouth?
Hands.
Okay. You're binding his hands with rope that are manacled. Oh, you're binding his hands?
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I tossed the scythe away that he was still holding on to.
You trying to take it from
him? That's very ominous.
I'm just asking.
With a look.
Are you taking it? He's gripping it tight. Who grabs it?
I chop his hand off.
What? All right.
Yes.
First,
I'll do it.
you were grabbing for it?
I was binding his hands.
Okay, so you go to grab one hand, and then the scythe is in the other one, and he's not letting go of it, so you're going to have a hard time binding it. And Cepheus, seeing this, you let go of his face, and he takes this big breath, blood just kind of pouring out of his mouth, and his face does not look good. It's full of gravel and crud. He's real hurt. And you just go with the spear. Make an attack roll with advantage. So for you, it's a straight roll.
22.
22, yeah, easy. Roll some damage.
Minimal damage, so 5.
Edovard, you're reaching for his hand, and you go to pull it, and he's not letting go of this thing. Realizing this, you've got your hand around his forearm, and then a spear just lops the hand off. Obviously a gruesome scene, but as that happens, you see from the stump of his arm, as he screams, and then you watch him immediately pass out, and his face just crashes forward into the cobblestone. Where the stump is, there's this energy, similar color, this almost opalescent or pearlescent color, this aurora borealis ribbon from the stump pouring forward, connecting to the hand that's holding on to the what's it called? And you see it's still this vice grip around the scythe, but his arm flailed around for a second, and then he went unconscious, his face into the dirt. But he's unconscious.
I can stabilize him with a medicine kit.
I'm helping out.
Okay, you have advantage.
15.
Okay, so you just bind his stump. It's just spewing, and you don't think he's breathing.
I spread the dying on him.
Okay, which keeps him no death saves, at 0,
Yeah.
barely alive. Okay, you watch just a moment where his chest is not rising, and then it just slowly rises and falls. He was dying. He had 1 hit point.
Jeez.
Yeah.
After he's breathing again, I'm gonna take the scythe in that hand and throw it away.
Okay. You pick it up, and there's this strange pull towards him with it. As you pick up the scythe, you pull away from him, and that energy is stretching to him, and you see where his stump is. It kind of slightly raises and turns in that direction, as if it's still connected by this thread that gets farther away, but it's got some tension to it as it's pulling away, like taffy. So it kind of pulls on him still. But as you lift it up, the hand does not fall off of it.
Can I twist the scythe and have the blade go through that cord connecting the hand to the arm?
Sure. You try your best to do it quickly, and there's a moment where it kind of tugs, and then you pull it up through. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. 21.
21. You roll a d12.
7.
7. Okay. You slice that cord with the blade. As you do, it kind of drifts upward with the momentum of the blade, and then there is a clear cut between it, and it starts to kind of reform as it's falling back down, and then it frays and dies away. You watch as it pulls towards the scythe, and then just kind of corrodes the side that is connected to him.
Does the hand still vice grip it?
The hand, it looks like it's gripping onto it like a dead hand might, okay. But you watch it just kind of loses color.
Okay.
Do you want to pull the hand off?
Yeah.
You managed to pull the hand off.
Okay.
You would not have been able to before.
I'm gonna carry the scythe. Edovard tosses his sword down one of the alleyways as he passes, commenting that he can re-summon it if he needs to.
So is he unconscious still?
Yes. He's at 0 hit points, and he's just being kept alive by that magic.
I give him 1.
Okay, he opens his eyes.
Did I get to his mouth?
Do you want to now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you walk forward with just like bandages, probably some of your used or unused bandages. You start to shove it towards his mouth, and he just looks at you. You beat me, but she's gonna. You're killing her.
I pull out the gag.
You're killing her.
I don't see any way where we interrogate you and you give us what we want. Are you going to cooperate? Is there any point in keeping you alive?
Well, before you cut off my hand, the clear implication was that you let me go and she wouldn't die.
Well, you've still got feet.
And another hand.
I do.
Look, I can make your life miserable, like you're making hers. I won't kill you. I'll keep you alive. And I'll make you spend every waking moment in misery. You might kill her, but I'll let you live. That's the point of it. You're gonna suffer long. You make people suffer, I'll make it 100-fold, 1,000-fold. You want this face back in the cobblestone? I'll make it pretty again for you. Then I'll drag it again, and again, and again, and again. And when you feel like you're gonna die and go unconscious, don't you worry. I'll bring you right back and do it again.
Yes.
With advantage, make an intimidation.
It's the pain.
Yeah.
The game of the pain.
Yeah.
To the pain.
This is the Wesley moment.
I'll make you pretty again. Yeah, I think you're pretty.
That's why I said it then.
Non-nat 20.
Oh.
I'm gonna give him disadvantage, but he rolled a nat 20 and then a 3.
Yeah.
He looks up at you, doing his best to keep some poise. Understood. The truth remains that if I don't return, that she will die. And there's nothing I can do about that. Here. But I believe you.
Where do you need to return?
To my manor.
I'm gonna insight.
Insight check as well.
At this point, Trake is now standing next to you.
Ooh.
Natural 1?
20.
Oh.
Not. 14.
You believe him. He's terrified. He's trying to do his best to, like, not, like, look like a coward. But he believes every word that Cepheus said.
I just standing in the corner like...
Never pour a bucket of water on Cepheus. Never.
Is she there?
She is. And the people there are under strict command that if I do not return within an hour, they are to kill her.
Inside on the hour?
Sure. They have to string her up. 10? Seem to believe him. She'll be strung up in front of her house where we took her.
And if we show up in this state, you, Atlas,
I'm sure they'll do the same.
then what do you suppose we do if she dies either way?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. And you hear Trey. He, like, put it back. He cocks the crossbow. I hear you all loud and clear. I believe every word that he says. And he, like, gestures with his chin to Cepheus. You know, his one side of his face is just like a swollen purple mess. The other side is just like a broken tooth that he's like...
Forgive me, Lord. Only special circumstances.
I know if you were to let me go now and I return to her and I lay a single finger on her, that everything he said still remains to be true and you'll find me and take care of it. There's no running from this. I'd rather die. Let me return. I will have her released. I cannot say for what he will do, but I will leave and I will never return.
I'm gonna search him
Okay, roll an investigation check.
with advantage.
13.
Titus looks at Drake. Could we take him to his manor under search of the guard also and demand her release? And
Well, I'm a bit concerned. I believe him.
Yeah.
He is scum, but he's a coward. He turned and ran. He gave in. He's a coward. I believe that if he doesn't return, this woman you're worried about will die. But I also believe that if whoever's waiting there sees you all showing up, they'll kill her too. Why wouldn't they? Hostage situations are usually a lose-lose sort of situation, in most cases. So, what you do is up to you. This is much more, I mean, he's been poisoning me for a year, but this is much more personal for you, which is saying a lot. I have one question for you, Lark. Mary, was that you? And Lark looks up at him. No.
Insight.
Okay.
Absolutely.
16.
16?
Mary was his wife, right?
I don't believe he ever said the name of his wife before, though. And Trake, like, kneels down, crouches down, his massive knees, like, right in Lark's face, and he just, like, punches him in the stomach, and Lark...
Mary, was it you? She died very suddenly. Huh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
He just stands up.
All right.
22 investigation.
Okay. Searching his body, you find a jagged, wicked-looking silvered dagger. Wicked in the sense that, like, it's long for a dagger, and at the end, it's like barbed over. Like a hook at the end, kind of. So, like, you could catch it on something. And, you find a sizable amount of gold, a pouch with 65 gold pieces and 10 platinum. You would also find his, like, training baton thing that he was using. It's just this collapsible baton that's, like, that he was using, to train the soldiers. It's nothing crazy. It's really not even, I mean, for a weapon, it's like 1 damage if you hit with it. But other than that, you would also find a single vial. You see a dark, blood-red liquid with a strange mercurial swirl within it. This swirl within it is like this almost opalescent kind of aurora borealis colors, these greens and blues with hints of this mercury silver that just kind of swirls around almost as if on its own through this dark, brackish red liquid. I believe everything you're saying. I believe that you'll kill me. Believe me when I say, when I return, I will command that she is released. I believe they will listen. He should not be there right now. I can't promise that he's not, but he shouldn't be. My thugs will listen to me. If they're mercenaries, they have to. I will command that she's released. She will be sent out into the city, and I will leave, and you will never see me ever again.
Insight 13.
13?
I just kind of look at Holik.
I'm gonna insight this one as well. Oh, I finally roll above 10 on these insights. 24.
Well, since Drake has left it up to us, Edovard.
When Edovard glances at me, I'm just like nodding that he's telling the truth.
Before we do anything,
That I believe him at least.
I want to know who the writer is.
I can't. I literally can't say anything.
Edovard whispers a secret to Trake, and Trake responds with,
I could get some, but it would take me time.
How much time?
Within the hour at my best. It's late and I would have to storm a supply.
If you could do it in under an hour, I would be indebted.
I will see what I can do. But you're waiting until then, so have a backup. And he turns and he just like rushes off into the night.
I have a bit of a plan.
How far away are we from the manor?
I'm not saying this to be an acid tongue. Don't play around.
How far are we from the manor?
It's outside of town, a few miles.
Is he?
I apologize. It was gifted to me for exceptional bravery in combat, and it's a beautiful manor.
Can I pull one of the guards aside?
Sure.
One of the good guys, and ask him to go get our weapons and things.
He goes, right, I'm so sorry. And he turns and runs off.
You guys are like fist fighting.
Yeah. Dude, I punched the guy so hard.
Listen to me. Don't play around with these guys. They're real bad. I hired some of the darkest, worst, most malicious mercenaries I could because they'll protect best. But understand.
What does this do? What does this vial do? With painful clarity.
I don't know the technical terms of it. It was given to me. What I understand of it is it pushes you beyond your limitations. A potential...
Yes. That's what I wanted to hear.
It is... the things best found in you are pushed beyond.
Ooh. I got a plan.
I got a plan, baby.
I want to kill you so bad. I really do.
Hey, kill me, she'll die.
Cepheus can bring him back.
We need to start making our way to the manor.
Out the north gate, follow the road, and you'll see a smaller road that branches off. It is made up of cobblestones, unlike the King's Road, and it goes into the hills, and crested atop a nice hill that looks over the meadows is my manor.
Edovard tells a soldier if his plans with Trake fall through, that they must send a cloak rider to find the party before they reach the manor, and that the party will follow the road to the manor. Also, Titus hands over the unconscious restrained guard he had been dragging.
I have a question.
I've given you a wonderful option, and I understand that you don't want to use it because you hate me, and you have every right to hate me. Hate is a powerful thing. I did everything I did out of hate. Look where it got me. Listen, if you do this any other way, then I'm telling you, I don't see it going any way other than her dying.
Well, can't we?
If you try something, you put the risk of her death in your own hands. I've given you a surefire way that she does not die.
We haven't told you what we're doing. Here, take this. And I take his hand and put it into his pocket.
He just... Where's my weapon?
I've got it like
You're holding
standing
it?
up and I'm holding it.
Be very careful with that. What are you asking?
How long does it take to get there?
At a fast pace, 45 minutes. 45 minutes at a fast pace.
Can you?
Oh shoot!
I'm gonna
With advantage.
wait. Magnifying glass identify.
Make an Arcana check, or are you trying to use it to identify? Okay.
Yeah.
So you say the command word?
Shoot, I don't.
Do you ask Lumen what it is?
Yeah.
He's crusted.
CRUSTED.
Oh, okay.
That's the command word.
I'll say it and
go ahead.
Crusted.
And you watch as it flares to life, magic. You see these runes that are invisible to the naked eye pulling off of this thing, and it is sickening. You feel your stomach lurch, and there's something... It's as if when you observe this, and these runes kind of like project off of it, you're seeing what truly makes this thing up.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a moment where the hair on the back of your neck kind of stands up. And in the same way that you are seeing what this thing truly is, something somewhere is seeing exactly what you truly are.
That's dope.
Oh, really?
And your heart sinks into your stomach.
You just feel an eye of unknown origin just...
Into my entire being.
Yeah, that's great.
That's cool.
I don't have a card for it, but I'll just tell you what it is. I'll tell you afterwards so we don't have to waste anybody's time.
I had one question too.
Yeah. For what?
You said he?
He, the one...
Is he the writer?
The writer, yes.
They're all the same. One of the same.
What?
One and the same.
One of the same. That's what I said.
When I said he, I was speaking of the writer. He's far worse than I. He's not scared of anything, so he doesn't stop.
The one you can't tell us who he is.
I don't think I can.
Let's make haste.
Yeah.
That is it. That's all I got.
Did the guard come back with their stuff?
Yes. You're all armed.
All right.
When this was happening, we were with girl.
Okay, the girl.
Yeah.
What are you two doing?
Right after I zapped him, I just went back and picked her up and tried to, if there's blood on her face, wipe her off. And then just say, Violina, take her into your gardens and with peace and song. And then I ask if there's any guards around to take us to her mom.
Okay. Clonus, was there anything you were doing?
I'm helping her.
So the two of you lift her up carefully, and as you start walking up the stairs, I mean, your scream got the attention of the manor. And so there's a couple guards at the bottom who look up and they nod, and they start walking with you. And as you're going up this staircase, you get about halfway up, and a few people come running from the hall, and they like stop at the banner and look down. At one point, just as you get to the top of the stairs, you turn and you see like down the hallway this kind of like shorter, like maybe like 5'5" woman, a little bit pudgy with a very plain dress, kind of, but she just looks just like the sweetest mother. Like when you see her, it's like just maternal grace. And she just like puts her hand up to her mouth and just kind of like gets down on her knees. And then you guys usher her into a room with her. With that, you guys walking back into the manor, or you guys leaving?
We gotta go.
Okay. Are you guys getting Venora and Clonus?
I'll yell out for him, definitely.
Okay, you hear from out, like the two of you hear from outside them crying for you.
It'd been a couple moments.
I mean, she's crying and beside herself as she like lays her down on a bed, asking what happened and then saying she doesn't want to know. And the guards kind of look at the two of you. You're being called for. We can talk to her.
I will be back. I'm going to come back as soon as I can.
Okay, she looks up at you.
I can give you.
And she just like sees the blood on your dress and like grabs hold of you. Who did this? Where are they?
They're dead.
There's just kind of a sigh. Relief, but not really relief.
She was, she hadn't told you, but she had got mixed up with some bad people who were tricking her, and they were trying to silence her, and I couldn't save her.
Make a charisma check.
Oh no. Roll good.
Can I give her advantage?
What are you doing?
Just trying to be soothing, like kind of.
Okay. You put your hand on the lady's shoulder.
Yeah, Byron's brain can't figure out.
No, that's fine. I just want to make.
Clonus is trying to help.
You put your hand on her shoulder, kind of like rub her back. What'd you roll? You can roll with advantage. Not a weird way.
No.
Much better.
The lady like reaches over her shoulder and kind of puts her hand on yours.
Straight charisma?
Yeah.
19.
She looks up at you and she like is holding on, with this vice grip, balling up fabric in her hand, and she just her hand is shaking as she lets go. She just doesn't say anything, but she like just nods kind of understandingly, but doesn't look up again, and she just looks back.
I'm so sorry. And just step out and run.
All right, the two of you leave. As you run out the door, you guys see just kind of ghostly pale Venora and Clonus come running out of the front door. As you're running out, your stuff, if you had any that was taken from you, you see a guard standing there and goes, "Oh, good, here," and he hands you your weapons. As you rush past, catching up with the rest of the group, they all start walking towards the north gate. Are you guys just dragging or carrying Lark?
Yeah, pick him up. He's walking.
Yeah. Okay, you're pushing Lark in front of you. You guys get to the group and you see Lark, chained, tied up. Nobody with
Like
a
his
hand. His right hand is missing.
What happened to his hand? Well, he made the wrong decision.
And he looks at you when you ask that, and as he turns and looks at you, you kind of look over at him and you see a hand hanging out of his left pocket.
Ah, I see he has a hand on it.
Kill me now.
As I'm walking with the scythe, he doesn't have a hand on it anymore. This is a hands-off situation.
Stuff. Could I ask one of them if there's any chance they have a bow? Just a bow.
wait here for a moment. Can you catch up to them?
Yep.
And he runs inside, and you hear like the door clatter shut quickly, and then maybe a minute and a half later, and the rest of the crew's kind of starting to walk away. He comes out, and he has a longbow. Is this fine? Is it too big?
No, perfect.
Okay. It's mine.
I will give it back.
Okay.
I promise. What was your name?
Sven.
Sven.
Sven the guard.
My family was custodian. It doesn't matter.
I love it. Please remember.
It's just important to me, so get it back to me, but you deserve to use it, so take it.
Thank you, Sven. I promise to do my best to take care of it.
Yeah, please.
And then I just...
It's been in my family for generations.
Dash.
It's important to me. Okay, then you rush after, now carrying this newly acquired longbow. The rest of you making your way down this long cobblestone street towards the north gate, with Lark being pushed ahead at spear point, his hand missing. He's beyond just so tired and hurt. But more importantly than all of that, he's terrified, and he has nothing left. As you push him towards the north gate, where you will find, hopefully, his manor soon. And that's where we'll leave it. Good job.
That was a hard one.
That did not go how I thought it was going to go at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Is that pizza?
No.
Oh, it's pizza bites.
Pizza bites.
Pizza bites.
Pizza smizza.
That's racist, dude.